All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hope everybody's well. Blood Boxing is in the building. He just went to go get himself a cup of coffee. So let me say what's up to everybody while we wait for him to come back. What's going on? Jose Lopez, good morning. Edwin Volaton, good morning. What's going on, Pull Out Bandit? He said, good morning to see him fighting new Golden Boys, Saini, Barbosa, and Rolly in the very near future in whatever order. Man, I think he's gonna be up out of Golden Boy. All things in the building. What's good, man? Ray Smith, what's going on? Arena, good morning, sister. Literary situation. What's going on, man? Ray Rice. Akeem Idris, what's happening with you, Akeem? Man, I don't read enough of your comments, Akeem. What's up, brother? I appreciate you always coming by the chat, man. I see your name on a regular basis in the beginning when you say salute Fanon in the chat. Salute to you, brother. Thank you for always watching the show, man, and supporting the show. Cadillac 634 in the dough. Good morning, Fanon. King Devin Haney by okay. By hey dog, when you said by okay, do you mean like okay? You mean like okay, he won. Man, if you did that on purpose, that shit is hilarious, bro. If you did that on purpose, man, that is hilarious, man. Double H, what's up? Ryan looked mediocre. No, he didn't. Not to me, he didn't. The ref was biased. Nah, that ref did a great job, man. That knockout surprised Ryan more than his, but no, it didn't. Double H, man. Stop hating, bro. There's a lot of hate there. I don't believe it. I got to slap you hating on that man. That man looked good. He showed multiple facets, bro, and that dude was designed to beat him. They tried to set that boy up for a loss with that fight. And he overcame. Blood, you back?
I'm back, bro. What's going on, Fanon?
Chilling. You know what it is, man. We just sipping on this coffee, saying what's up to everybody before we get into this, man. What's going on? Rocco McBride, what's going on, big brother? How you feeling, man? And I say big brother, not as in big brother, and he's older than me, big brother, and he knows his boxing. What's going on, Mike Kirkland? Bruce Gas, Boxing and Jazz. Cal Coolett, what's up, Cal? Big time supporter, Cal Coolett, brother. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being a channel member. What's going on, Egomaniac Kid? Dre, Big Block, 07 Gaming Expert. Shout out to everybody else. PT, Daryl McKinney for show. What's up? What's good? Dennis D. James Sr., salute to you, sir. PTP Logistics. Mike Kirkland, as always, man. What's up? What's up? What's up? Asante L in the building. What's going on, sir? How you feeling, brother? I like when you call me by my first name, man. Makes me feel normal. Blood, what's on your mind, brother? What's on your mind?
Oh, man, there's a lot on my mind in between the 135-pound division and the 147-pound division. Now, I gave Fanon some props for this before we came on the show. I'm going to give him some props for this. Fanon really understands the demographics. Last week, I asked Fanon a question. I said, what do you think the pay-per-view numbers between Regis Prograis and Devin Haney would do? And Fanon said about 60,000. And guess what? When I looked at the Benavidez and Andre numbers, it was 60,000. So even though that's a different fight, he has an idea of how many people are spending pay-per-view. He nailed it. He pretty much nailed it. I got to give him some. You did say 60,000, didn't you, Fanon? That's what you said,
60, right? 60,000, yeah, that's 60,000. Something like that, man, 60,000.
So if you guys don't mind in the chat, one more time, with all this talk about Devin Haney being a big superstar and selling out stadiums and stuff like that, how much pay-per-view numbers do you really think Regis Prograis versus Devin Haney are going to do? You guys put that down in the chat so I could look at it later and I could have something to lean on, right?
I'm telling you right now, brother.
How the fans feel. You know, is it going to be, 300,000 for this fight between Devin Haney and Regis Prograis? Plus, it's stuck under the Zone app, too. So I think it's the Zone pay-per-view, right, Fanon? So
the
I'm
Zone
not even sure
bro.
if the thing is going to do 60,000, bro.
Dog, I'm saying
who these guys are.
I like Devin, so I'm going to say 60. I like Devin, so I'm going to say 60. Please remember that Victor Postol and Terrence Crawford did 50.
This is
Terrence
crazy,
Crawford,
man. Nobody's buying pay-per-view for now.
bro. Look, man. We just got a fight last night. Ain't no way 007 gaming expert's going to be 100, 150K. Ain't no damn way it's going to be 100 to 150K because they said it was 150K against Lomachenko, and that was a damn lie. But it's with Lomachenko. It was with Lomachenko. So this is Regis Prograis. This is not Lomachenko. This is Regis Prograis. This shit ain't popping off no hunt. It's not going to do what these people were. They were saying Gervonta Davis versus Hector Garcia did 48,000. Not that I believe it, but ain't no way. But I know what they're going to say. They're going to say 200,000. All y'all lying ass Devin Haney fans going to say 200,000. Because y'all is just some lying ass dudes. So I know it's coming. But go ahead, Blood.
Yeah, man. Other than that, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was watching the card last night, and when Sugar Shane's son fought, I fell asleep probably in the second round, and I woke up right in time to see the Ryan Garcia. So I didn't get to see none of the other fights. So the only fight I saw,
Floyd Schofield. I'll tell you what happened. Floyd Schofield, who was Kid Austin, in between the fight with Shane Mosley and the fight with Ryan Garcia, there was just one fight. So you didn't fall asleep you didn't fall asleep very long. Because it was only one round and it was only half of it.
Before you go there, what's that guy's name from Texas, man? I
Floyd
saw his
Schofield.
fight.
This on what?
The super middleweight that fought before Shane Mosley's son.
I have to look.
Okay, well, I think he's pretty good. I like him. He's a young up-and-coming fighter. But I did get a chance to see him, and then I was watching Sugar Shane Mosley's son, went to sleep, so I didn't get to see Kid Austin. So yeah, go ahead, man. Let me know what happened.
You're talking about here. Let me see. Let me go to the event so we can see who fought. Floyd Schofield, Darius Flungum, and you're talking about Darius Flugum.
Yeah, that guy. I like that. I like that kid.
Yeah.
Man.
I saw it. So that was the second round TKO. Then after that, Floyd Schofield fought. Or actually, after that, Shane Mosley fought. That one wound up ending with a retirement in the 6th round. And then Floyd Schofield, Kid Austin got a knockout in the 1st round against Ricardo Lopez Torres. And it was just in that fight he just literally just walked across the ring and beat him up. Like he couldn't take any of the shots, bro, that the guy landed. He was hurting him with shots that landed on the glove. Like it was, that was just they fed him somebody, man. But as far as what happened with Ryan Garcia and the fight with Ryan Garcia, what were your thoughts on the fights? I'll ask you what you thought about the fight, what Ryan Garcia looked like in that fight to you. Because I was impressed by Ryan Garcia.
Okay, Ryan Garcia, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I would give Ryan Garcia a C to B plus. I mean B minus for the performance because Ryan Garcia still has some flaws, man. Now he ended the fight, check left hook followed by 2 short rights, I believe is what it was. But throughout the fight, there was some technical flaws. There was one point in the fight to where he started to kind of almost literally turn his back on Duarte. He was doing some kind of strange shoulder roll. And there was a point deducted because, if somebody positions their body that way, then there's going to be some punches that are going to land on the back and things like that. But, other than that, and listening to Derek James too, because I thought Derek James did a good job in this fight. He gave him some good advice. He told him basically to stick with the jab, try to find those right hands, those straight right hands. And eventually he did settle down and he found his rhythm. And, he basically did what he had to do. And he got this guy up out of there. But there was still some technical flaws. There's still some work to do. I like Ryan Garcia at 140 pounds. I think he needs to stay there, but I'm not even sure if he's ready for the big players like Teofimo and I would say Matias and maybe even a Regis Prograis or Devin Haney, depending on who wins that fight. You notice that after the fight, he called out the weak link, which is Rolly Romero. Yeah, he called out Rolly Romero, and Rolly Romero is already going around social media. I heard a little clip with Rolly Romero saying that Ryan Garcia doesn't deserve a fight against him. So somewhere between 135 and 147, there's a lot of these diva guys who are always going around saying this guy don't deserve a fight and that guy, he didn't do enough. And Rolly Romero is already starting to talk like that. But I'm not really sure if he's ready for them guys. Maybe he needs to work with Derek James for another fight. He needs to settle down a little bit. One time Derek James had to tell him, hey, man, sit down on the stool, man, because he was standing up in between rounds and not really didn't really seem to be focused on Derek James' instruction. Derek James is a good trainer, man. People give him a lot of slack, man, but he's a good trainer, and he does give good instruction. I thought he had a really good game plan last night. Salute to Ryan Garcia. I think he did what he had to do against somebody like Duarte, who's a tough guy. He was able to get him out of there. He did what he had to do. And like I said, I'll give him a B- for the performance last night.
All right, my take on it is I fucks with Ryan, man. I can't lie, bro. I like Ryan Garcia. I think that he is a much better fighter than people give him credit for. I think he's a much better fighter than people give him credit for. And he's a much more talented fighter than people give him credit for. And he is definitely like I will favor guys like, I'd favor Teofimo Lopez over him. I would also favor like Matias over him. I think he'll get rolling. But I'm going to tell you, man, you get caught by that dude, your ass going to be in a world of trouble. Because that dude got power. Like, he's got fast hands. He's got real power. That I thought that dude was somebody that Golden Boy set up to beat him. Because that's just one of those rough and rugged fighters that doesn't have a lot of holes for you to land shots on. And I liked Ryan's thinking process. I liked his thinking process. Where he went from like just, jabbing, looking for the shot, hitting him with big shots, kind of pot shotting him. And then when he moved into that whole, what do you call it? The egg roll. Somebody said, hey man, I don't know who it was. Said that wasn't no Floyd Mayweather I wasn't no Floyd Mayweather shoulder roll.
Absolutely not.
That was an egg roll. But what I liked about it though, was that he basically was defending what he knew the guy was doing, because he was trying to come up with overhand rights so that he could set up those. He was trying to set those left hooks to the body so he could throw that overhand right. Oh, that's double zeros. Yeah, double zeros. That shit was funny, bro. That had me cracking up. I'm glad you reminded me that was you. Hey, Maria said, good morning, Fanon in the chat. Team Ryan. Yeah, I'm Team Ryan over here. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm Team Ryan. I'm about to get a Ryan Garcia poster, bro. I'm rocking with Ryan. I like him. Because he got heart, man. He's got heart. He's got talent. He's an exciting fighter to watch. He brings it. So, he ain't snoozing it up. Clearly, I don't think he's the same level of fighter as Gervonta and Shakur. But I'm going to tell you, man, don't lunch if Devin gets his ass caught by that boy. Like, I would take Devin over him too, but dog. I like the power, but anyway, I liked how he did.
Matias, Fanon?
Oh, he need to stay away from Gabriel Matias. Fuck no. Nah, he need to stay away from Sabril Matias. Sabril Matias. What do
you think he needs to do? You think he needs to go after Rolly?
What?
You think he needs to go after Rolly Romero?
Oh, he definitely need to go after Rolly. But I think, look, man, I think that Ryan Garcia is I think he is a good fighter, bro. I think that he is. I see him becoming a world champion. I see him becoming a world champion. And him fighting Rolly, I think is what will do it. But I like him, man, because I like his heart, bro. I mean, he's got skills. He can box, man. He can box. He's got some defensive flaws where he definitely gets but to that time he didn't have his chin all up in the air. He wasn't fighting I didn't notice last night that he was fighting his chin in the air. And he was also he also kept that right hand up and was catching them shots with that right hand a lot more. So I think he tightened up a couple things, but his talent is, I think, the thing that can really get him over, because not a lot of people can take a shot from him, man. That dude, And that dude has what's his name? Duarte had a chin, man. Duarte took several big shots, bro. When he clipped him with that, and he wasn't, and the thing was that hook was so natural. He just pulled right back. He said it was a basic thing. He pulled back off that right, and just bop, and just even half falling back, still caught him with that dude. Had that dude on Dizzy Street, man. And then with very clean shots, I think it was a right and a left. Man, he hurt that boy, man. I like that. So I like Ryan, man. I like Ryan. I'm looking forward to seeing more fights, man. And it's not
he's
just
a rhythm and timing guy. You know, he's more like once he gets into his rhythm and he gets his timing down, he can start sitting down on his feet and putting them combinations together. And he does a good job doing that. But I think he's one of those guys who has to get into his rhythm, find the distance, the right distance, depending on the opponent. And once he does that, he's one hell of a fighter, man. Plus, he has a great amateur career. He had over 200 amateur fights, I believe. So this ain't no YouTube star or nothing like that. This guy came up on the amateur circuit. He made a name for himself. No, he's not of Olympic pedigree, but this guy, yeah, he's a very skilled fighter. I have to give it to Ryan Garcia. Absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah, he is. I got to make a call real quick. Hey, Rocco. Hey.
Okay, so we got Fanon making a call, and I saw somebody say something about Rolly Romero in the comment section. They said something about him moving up to 147. Yeah, I think Fanon did hear Rolly Romero say that about moving up to 147 pounds. But really, I would like to see some of these guys stay down at 140 and mix it up down there at 140. Stay in the division. I also like to see some unification down at 140. We got 4 champions in the 140-pound division right now. So some unification would be nice. Right now, we got Regis Prograis. He's tied up in a fight with Devin Haney. So, you know, you got Rolly Romero, who most people would say is the weak link in the 140-pound division. These guys are trying to selectively choose their opponents and things like that. Stay down there and mix it up. Let's see some unification. We had a unified champion or undisputed champion at 140 2 years ago, and now we got 4 champions. And then at 135, we got 1 champion in Shakur Stevenson, and then the rest of the belts are now vacated, which me and Fanon, we're going to get into that too. We're going
Gervonta got it.
Okay.
There's
I'm
2
glad
of
you
them.
brought that up, Fanon, because I've been listening to your show this week, and according to Fanon, which Fanon makes really good points, what happened is because it was the super championship in the WBA, which they messed that up in the early 2000s. That's something they messed up. They messed up the lineage is what they did. So a lot of people get confused with this super WBA status, which I was the first person who really brought the fans' eyes to that. I started talking about this shit in 2009. I kid you not. So at this time, what Fanon, I believe what you're saying, Fanon, is that they're just going to get rid of the super status, and they're going to just keep, because Shakur actually has the belt that all the great fighters had. They kind of messed everything up in the early
Shakur, you talking about Gervonta has it.
Yeah, Gervonta, my bad. Tank Davis, right. He has the belt, the traditional belt, right?
Yes,
he has the traditional WBA belt. So I could really understand where Fanon is coming from, because this is something that I had a hang up with a long time ago. So yeah, go ahead and explain that again, Fanon. Let's get into that.
Yeah, man. The belt is there is no such thing. What's going on, Claymore Rain? I see you, brother. There is no such thing as a WBA regular belt. That is not a real thing. And a lot of people, when they talk about, because they don't actually like read BoxRec or know what the title is called, Gervonta Davis is the WBC world champion. He is the champion. Without a doubt, the WBA world champion is Gervonta Davis.
Well, can we call it traditional? A traditional?
They don't call it anything. It's just the WBA world title. That's what it's called.
Okay.
Just like the WBC is the WBC world title. And then you had a franchise designation on top of that. So with the WBA, they had the same thing, because it was a way And somebody enlightened this to me. And again, Blood, you are 100% right. You've been on it for years, which is why I have so much respect for Blood. The WBA created that after Lennox Lewis got stripped of his title. And Lennox Lewis had the idea. It said, look, when you're trying to go for unification, when we were trying to unify the belts, there's too many mandatories. So can we just, after a guy becomes a champion, can we just create a super title for the sake of undisputed, but just have the world champion just fight the mandatory? So the WBA created a designation. Now, here's something that I want to show you, because I did this the other day, and you got to see this, like, to really appreciate it. This, I think this is the graphic that, let me pull this out. But I see you, Claymore. Here, let me pull this out so you guys can understand this from what happened just recently. Okay, so you see this, you can go to BoxRec and look at this for yourself, right? Okay, so this is, excuse me, Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis right here is fought for Hector Garcia, right? Fought for the WBA World Lightweight title. I'm going to move it up close so you can see it. That says WBA World Lightweight title. Okay, it doesn't say regular, it says World Lightweight title. When I click on it, this is the world. You see up here at the top, it says World Boxing Association World Light title. And you'll see that Gervonta Davis got it after it was vacated by, actually, this was a draw. So it went up in the air, right? So neither one of these guys won this. Jorge Linares last fought for this belt in 2018. So you see Jorge Linares, right? Mm-hmm. That's Jorge Linares. And this is for the belt Gervonta has. But if we go to Jorge Linares, we look and see that Jorge Linares where is it? Fought Gesto right there. The title is right there. The WBA World Lightweight title.
Right.
But then in his next fight, he fights for the WBA Super. See, Jorge Linares was never the WBA World Super Lightweight champion. When Vasily fought for it, he petitioned to fight for the WBA Super so that he could go on and unify titles. So, go ahead.
Okay. So keep that thought in mind, and let's take the heavyweight division, right? Yes. Trevor Bryan was carrying this belt at one time. He was carrying the regular WBA, right? But nobody was calling Trevor Bryan the heavyweight champion of the world. Would you say that Trevor Bryan was the heavyweight champion over Anthony Joshua?
Anthony Joshua was, because the WBA used a different set of rules. So, but they do have the world championship belt. They does. But let's go to Anthony Joshua. Oh, actually, let's do this. You can look at Erislandy Lara right now. Let's go to Erislandy Lara. Erislandy Lara, when we look at let's go to BoxRec. Is this up? It's up.
But you do know that the WBA confused a lot of people, Fanon. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, they confuse
a lot of people with this.
Yes, they do. They do confuse a lot of people with it. 100% they do. But if we go to Anthony Joshua, we go to AJ, right? Mm-hmm. AJ let's go to the WBA Super World Heavyweight title. This probably was continued. I already know that
the lineage is not going to go far with this. I already know that.
Yeah, and see it, but it goes consistent. But it goes. They haven't broken it since they started it, because you have Vladimir, and these are the only ones you have. There's no second page.
Okay, but if you go to Trevor Bryan, that's going to have Muhammad Ali and them attached.
Absolutely, it is. It only goes to 2011, where it's a belt created for Vladimir Klitschko. Tyson Fury, and there's only been 4 WBA Super Champ, 5 because Andy Ruiz. There's only been 5 of them. Vladimir Klitschko, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz, and Alexander Usyk. That's it.
Okay, so my question is, when there's a WBA, I like the way you're doing this, Fanon. I really like this because you're the first person, actually the only one to address it since I did. Okay, so I have a question for you. Who was considered to be the WBA champion when you have both a super champion and you have the just the world champion? Right?
Strictly speaking, they're both champions, but one is it for the unification of the belts?
I got you. Okay.
So they're saying this is the WBA world champion. It is legitimately the world championship. However, they have created something above it so that they can have unifications take place, because they had to find a way, because now that there's 4 sanctioning bodies, if you have, strictly speaking, if you have 4 sanctioning bodies, you're supposed to fight, the champion's supposed to fight 4 mandatories a year. And that's not possible. So the WBA said, we recognize that it's not, I'm trying to give them a benefit of the doubt, right? They say, look, we got a problem because we got 4 sanctioning bodies. We're going on 5 with the IBO. You're only going to, and boxing fans want to know who the real champion is. So once a guy gets to a point where we can recognize him as the guy we want to fight for undisputed or unifications, we're just going to say, okay, he fought his way out of the division, out of the rankings. And because we want to make these big fights, we're going to let him do it without a mandatory. But the champion actually has to fight the mandatory. But the problem with that is that it's a violation of the Muhammad Ali Act, and in the United States, it's illegal. It's illegal.
So are they going to have another super champion at WA at lightweight? At the WBA?
Do you remember that what happened when that fight took place, where they were talking about the corruption on the scorecard, and it was God dog, I can't remember his name right now, man, but there was some big drama. And then the Association of Boxing Commissions, which is the organization which is got power from the Ali Act to say what sanctioning bodies are allowed to sanction fights in the United States. They told the WBA because of the corruption in a particular fight, which I didn't even think had anything to do with the belts, but whatever it was, they used that to say, you guys got to get rid of all of these extra belts, or you're going to have to reduce the number of belts you have, or we're going to have to, or you're not, or the WBA is not going to be allowed to sanction fights in the United States. So they said what they're going to do, the WBA said, is we're going to start consolidating these belts. And what they did was, for example, when Gennady Golovkin dropped his WBA super title, they didn't elevate Erislandy Lara. Erislandy Lara is just the full champion, and he's the WBA world title holder.
So this is a slow process that they're doing. Okay, I understand what's going on.
Yeah, they got to get rid of it. I mean, they've literally, how does it, Cal, cool, let me read this. I'll explain how. Mike, Derek James. Oh, thank you, Rocco McBride. Derek James revealed that he personally picked Duarte for Ryan to fight. He didn't want a soft touch. Oh, great pick, because that made it a great fight. Mike Kirkland in the building said, for the show I enjoy. Thank you, Mike Kirkland. Thank you, sir. And Cal Kula said, how does it violate the Ali Act? It violates the Ali Act because there's 2 portions of the Muhammad Ali Act. One is around there being a firewall between promoters and managers, which keep promoters and managers from colluding with each other to exploit fighters. That's part of it. The other half of it is that you're supposed to have a legitimate ranking system, which will allow a fighter to get a shot to fight for the championship. Because one of the ways that people were exploited, boxing fighters were exploited, were that they were never allowed to get a championship shot. because the rankings is people could bribe their way up the rankings. So when they developed the Ali Act, they put something in place to say, look, we have to be able to watch that because that's another way, along with managers and promoters working with each other, right? And screwing over the fighters. Also, there's no legitimate ranking system. The reason that I say that those belts above the super belt and the franchise belts are illegal is because there's no mandatory. And if you recognize them as the champion, but they don't have a mandatory, that means that they don't have to fight anybody in the ranking system. How can you say that you have a legitimate ranking system if the champion doesn't have to fight anybody in the ranking system? When it falls on a secondary guy to fight the mandatory. So take the WBA, and Gervonta Davis and Devin Haney, for example. Rolly Romero was the mandatory for the WBA world title. He fought his way up the rankings and became the mandatory. But who does he get to fight? He doesn't get to fight Devin. He has to fight Gervonta. And everybody, and I don't think it's unreasonable, is saying that Devin's the champion, Gervonta's not the champion. And I wouldn't argue with that because for the sake of undisputed, Devin was the champion for the sake of undisputed. But how does anybody go into the WBA rankings, pay a fee to the WBA rank in the WBA rankings, and be able to get a fight ordered against Devin Haney? They can't. Now, these guys aren't tripping on it because they want to fight Gervonta anyway because there's more money in it. But still, you get it. If there is no mandatory for the WBA mandatory, even though the WBA in the heavyweight division actually has ordered fights, like against Alexander Povetkin, and when they ordered Alexander Povetkin to fight against Anthony Joshua, which is something they don't do in other weight divisions. But boxing is fickle.
Yeah, they could edit their they could definitely edit their guidelines and things like that. And going back to the Ali Act, the confusing part about the Ali Act is the part that you said about the rankings, because there's a lot of variables and factors that play into that. Whereas the easy part to understand is the relationship between the promoter and the manager, which Ali at one time had a manager named Chris. He had Angelo Dundee was his manager, and Chris Dundee, Angelo Dundee's brother, was his promoter. So the hard part of that whole Ali Act is the part you said about the rankings, because I've had some problems with the rankings for several years. But
yeah, I mean, honestly, to me, the biggest problem with the rankings is that you don't have everybody in every professional fighter in everybody's rankings, because you have ridiculousness in those rankings where you will have a guy like Agate Cabal at like number 2, but you'll have Deontay Wilder at like number 8 or not ranked at all. So it's not, the whole ranking system is trash, but the media is to blame for that. The media is to blame for that. The same people that are always pointing fingers at boxing, in my opinion, are the ones that is responsible for it, because they're the ones always pulling out of their behind some new sanctioning body. And now they want Ring to be the standard now. They're so damn manipulative. It's crazy. Claymore, what's up, Claymore?
Hey, what's up, Fanon? What's up, Blood? Can you guys
Claymore? Oh, that's my boy right there now.
Yeah, Blood. Yeah, Blood. I've been following you, man. I've been watching you, man. I've been on your channel.
Salute to you, bro.
Yes. I don't know. I guess I'm changing the topic a little bit, kind of like going back to the Ryan Garcia situation, and honestly, also the whole Golden Boy, that's the whole Golden Boy situation that's coming together. But I know you guys were commenting already. The card was a lackluster card. The fighters on the card just wasn't it for me. Shout out to Floyd Schofield. He showed out. What a talent. I don't know if he's going to be able to do what he wants to do over there at Golden Boy. We'll see what they do for him. But as far as Ryan Garcia is concerned, and Derek James and what we saw over there, Ryan won the fight. So when you win the fight with a knockout, it puts everything else that happened in the fight in perspective sometimes, you know. But I mean, ultimately, if we're looking at the bigger picture for Ryan Garcia and we're talking about that 140 division, you know, I just don't see him being competitive with anybody in that division except for maybe a Rolly. I mean, you can find, yeah, I really don't. Not that Ryan that I saw. I'm gonna give it to Derek James. I saw him actively. I feel like he used every bit of the 60 seconds he had with Ryan in those corners, you know what I'm saying, during between those rounds to really try to like get through to him. But Ryan has to me, after watching him last night, I'm realizing that he's a hard-headed kid and he has a hard time sticking to the plan. He likes to adjust and call audibles during the play, and I don't think he's really built to call those audibles. That California roll he was doing last night, that I think he's calling it the Philly
The
shell.
California roll.
Well, he's from California, right? So I
know,
I gave him I gave it to him. I said, you know, I'm gonna name it after the state he's from. That California role he had was just not working, dangerous to say the least against the division that he's in with the punches that are in that division. I just see him, you know, I see that crumbling. Maybe him and Derek James need to melt a little bit more. Maybe it's going to take time for them to melt, and I'll wait for that to happen. But you know, like I said, in the bigger picture, that Ryan I saw last night was one of the worst Ryans I personally have ever seen. I just didn't understand where he was going with what he was doing. I honestly
He was
believe
going to
that.
knock that boy. He was going to knock that dude out.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Oscar Duarte was there to be knocked out. Oscar Duarte was hardly punching unless he had him against the ropes. Oscar Duarte wasn't punching while he was moving. Only when his feet were planted, he was really letting go. So I feel like that was a tailor-made fighter for Ryan to knock out, and he struggled. For me, from my perspective, he struggled to get there with him. So the other people in that division is, and you got to think that Oscar Duarte is really a 135 pounder. He's actually fought as low as 113 pounds back in Mexico back in the day, which is interesting. So it's like, you know, that's a small guy, and it took you 8 rounds to really get him out there. I think you should have had him out of there in 3 to 5 rounds.
Man, bro, why? That dude could fight, man. That dude,
fighting,
first of all, bro, that dude was much bigger than Ryan.
I mean, Ryan came at 143. He came at 141 and change, 142
bro,
and change.
He was much bigger than Ryan in that ring.
So is the 113 a typo, Fanon? Did you look into that?
I mean, dog, and I think it had to be, or with some shady ass Mexican fight type shit.
Some Mexican type fights, yeah.
But that dude ain't no way in the planet that dude is 113 pounder, man.
Yeah, it was weird. I just feel like, you know, I'll discount the 113, and I'll just say that I believe it was tailor made for him to do better than what he did, and he didn't. And
how much better can you do than knocking out a dude in the 9th round? And what did he knock him out in the 8th round? Dude, he knocked him out in the 8th round, man.
But until he knocked him out, it wasn't.
It
wasn't looking that exciting, and that's why I said in the beginning of what I was saying that
after you knock
somebody out. Well, I'm just saying, after you knock somebody out, I said it puts
it in. When you said that,
right?
When you said
I'm
that,
be honest.
When you said that, I thought when you said it puts it into perspective, I thought that you meant that it puts it. Oh, I understand what he was doing. When you mean if you say
no, I didn't understand what he was doing.
It covers up. If you mean that it when you get a knockout, it almost makes you forget about all of the errors that took place before.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Okay.
What I meant.
Because if you say it, put it in perspective, I was like, oh, he's about to compliment Ryan.
Well, I think that when you get a knockout like that, you might want to forget what the things that you saw that were really questionable going on in the match.
What was questionable? I don't get
that shell. Okay, that shell. That I'm gonna call it a Philly shell because that's what everybody knows it as. I get that was horrible. Yeah. I don't know what that was.
You was listening to that. You was out there listening. You had that volume on, man. You had that.
No, volume. I really didn't. Actually, I was in the middle of trying to edit a video. I didn't even have the sound on. That's funny you said that. I didn't even have the sound on. I actually need to rewatch it so I can hear it with the sound because I was in the middle of editing a video and trying to figure out a system that was just blowing my brain away. It was anyway. That's another conversation.
What system? What application are you using to do the video?
Final Cut.
Okay, I can't speak on Final Cut. Well,
Yeah,
okay.
it was just I'm learning though, but yeah, that's what I was doing. I actually had the volume down trying to figure that out. I was listening to YouTube videos trying to
I
figure
think
out
you
things on
listening
that.
I think you listening to that volume because them dudes was complaining about that shit, and I thought it was working for Ryan because Ryan
It
wasn't
was
getting
the
hit with some
weirdest
body
looking
shots no
thing.
more. He
It
took
was
away
so weird.
basically what he did was he took away that left hook to the body. He took away the left hook to the body, man, and was blocking
and he
blocking those body shots with his elbows, which is the other half, of that Philly shell thing. That Philly shell thing is really, really good because for protecting your, it's not just about that front hand, it's also about that left hook coming to the body, which he wound up catching on his elbows, man. I like the adjustment, man.
The only thing is,
I got Dean right behind you.
He left his back open, and he left the back of his head open.
Yeah, but you can't hit somebody. You can't hit somebody.
Which I think the referee has to say.
But you can get hit in the back of the head, though. And if you get hit in the back of the head, even though it's a foul, you can hurt you. You can get hurt.
He knocked the dude out, man. He knocked the dude out, dog. He did something. He did something.
The shell was flawed, Fanon. You know the shell was flawed.
I mean, yeah, it was flawed. I'm not saying it wasn't. I'm not
flawed.
I'm going to tell you, brother.
To turn your back
bro,
on the opponent.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm not Eddie Futch. Okay, so I just going to tell you what I saw. What I saw was him he spin it by, he was on his bike a little bit, jabbing, doing stuff. Duarte kept pushing, kept coming forward. Ryan Garcia planted his feet for a little while, and stood there and was catching some shots, hitting him with some shots on the inside. Let him blow, let him gas himself a little bit. But being a little bit, it was ugly because it's not what you expect out of Ryan, but he let the guy gas himself a little bit. And then after that, he got on a bike. So he went from that to a straight up bike. And when he got on a bike, dude, Duarte couldn't touch him when he was on his bike. And then Duarte started coming forward at him and getting reckless. Then he threw that shot, got reckless. Ryan got that shot he was looking for. Boom. Got him. Boom. And wobbled him and got him out of there. I actually thought that was some good thinking from the young man. And he explained it. He's like, what I tried to do when I did that was I was just trying, because he kept coming. I didn't pause. Well, it paused. He kept coming forward. So what I did was I stood there and I let him gas himself out a little bit. I'm blocking shots, right? And then I got on my bike. Then I saw that opening, and he waited for his opening. And that opening was beautiful the way he countered that right hand with that check left hook, man. Wow, and he got him out of there, man. Why you hating on the pretty boy, dog? Why you hating on the pretty boy?
Well, I'm not hating on him, man. I'm really not hating on him. I'm rooting for him, and I want him to get better. But I got to be honest, and like I said, the knockout that he got put perspective on the fight, and that fight is over with. So he won. So I don't want to take too much from it, except for when I look at that fight, now I'm starting to think about the broader spectrum of the entire division. And I'm saying to myself, where does this Ryan Garcia I see last night take a belt in that 140-pound division? I'll be honest with you, I just don't see who he's going to take it from. I don't see him taking it from Devin.
If Devin get it, he's going to take it from Devin.
Nah, Devin is too skilled to allow.
Man, Devin's ass going to get. Devin can't punch.
Not from that fight. Maybe another fight. Maybe another fight.
We'll I'm telling you, man, don't lunch. I would favor Devin to beat Ryan, bro. But dog, I'm telling you right now, bro. Honestly, I would not be surprised if his ass got clipped something nasty by that kid, man.
What did you see in that fight that makes you think he could beat Devin? Honestly,
the fucking power.
All right, but
the power on that kid.
Devin's not going to sit there and walk.
Dog, he's going to let go.
How Duarte was.
Devin gets hit. Devin gets hit.
That. You got to
get
him.
He does.
You got to find him. You got to find him.
Yes, he does. Devin gets hit,
he
bro.
Get hit. He does get hit, but he's not going to walk into it.
Devin gets hit by everybody. Devin gets hit by all those dudes. All those dudes hit Devin.
He's skilled fighters. What fighter?
Ryan's a skilled fighter.
No, not last night.
Yes. Ryan is a skilled fighter, bro. You guys need to stop hating on that man because he's a pretty boy.
No, I'm not hating on him. I'm telling you, I like
hating on that man, bro. That man is a skilled fighter, bro. That man knocked him out with a check left hook, bro. That man got on his bike, showed he could fight on the back. He fought. Now he wasn't throwing punches on the back foot, but he fought on the back foot. Defense on the back foot was good. He stood there and exchanged with the dude, slipping shots, exchanging with him. He jabbed him, landed uppercuts. He got power. Dog, y'all sleeping on King Ryan, man, because y'all sleeping on.
Let me ask you something, Playmo. Let me ask you something.
I got Dean right behind you, brother.
Do you think Ryan could beat Rolly Romero?
That's about his best. That's the money fight for him.
He got a belt.
Because he got
a belt.
I was actually about to go into that. Before.
Well, let me go and come back and go back into that because I got Dean waiting.
All right. I also want to talk about Bernard and
I know you got like 3-4 topics, bro. So come back like at a topic.
Dean, what up, though? Gang shit. Peace.
All right, brother. Get back, Claymore Rain.
That's my bro right there now.
Yes, sir. Come back though, for real. I just don't want to keep people waiting too long.
My boy Claymore, man.
Derek Choice about to be out here trolling. I like Ryan, but he cannot fight on the inside, and Devin would eat him for man. I'm telling you right now, bro. That fight right there is a lot more difficult from Devin than you think it is. That shit right there is more difficult for Devin Haney than you think it is. That dude right there is not. That dude is not easy money, bro. That dude is not easy money, dog. He's not easy money. Not easy money. It can be easy money for Gervonta because Gervonta can bust his shit. Bow. He just busts his shit open. Devin can't bust his shit open like that.
Devin can't do that. I'm not really sure if Devin could beat him, to be honest. Devin is overrated. He's an overrated fighter. Point blank, period.
Man. Woo! You heard that? You heard that, frequent flyer? Hey, and Maria said donation for Regis fight. Ryan's power. I'm trying to tell you, bro. Ryan got power, bro. When you can catch somebody coming, a dude with a stern chin, you can pull out knockouts like that. He pulled out that knockout against Luke Campbell, and he pulled that knockout against Javier Fortuna. He pulled out a knockout against that tough chin Mexican like Duarte. Dude, don't think your boy can't get clipped. I'm just telling you, don't think that Ryan can't clip you now. Sit your ass up there and get clipped on that chin, be shook up. What's up, Dean?
Fanon, Blood, what's up, y'all?
Hey, my brother, man. Hey, I've been checking. Hey, I subscribed over to you, bro. Good stuff over there.
Man, Blood, I appreciate you, man. We growing. What's Manager Marty word? Exponentially.
Yes, sir.
And I'm doing some good work over there. I'm very proud of myself, man. It's been going good. But I came for a discussion. I'm salty that Claymore Rain left because that was just a bunch of malarkey that I heard. Shout out to my brother Claymore Rain. Please go like, share, and subscribe Claymore Rain channel. Are we watching?
Y'all steady violating policies over here. I got to tell you.
What you
Steady
mean?
violating policies. But that's all right. Keep going. I like Claymore Rain.
Oh, yeah, Claymore, that's my guy. That's my guy. Claymore just said some stuff. That's the worst Ryan you've seen? Absolutely not. Second of all, Ryan Garcia, if you watch the fight, the first 5 rounds, why are they talking like he was doing the Philly shell the whole fight? He only did that for 2 rounds. He did that for 2 rounds, and that was strategic. The first 5 rounds, he wasn't doing that. He outboxed Duarte beautifully the first 5 rounds. For now, when he started doing the Philly shell, I knew why he was doing it. I said, "Oh, Ryan's staying in the pocket trying to let him blow his load." And he wanted to see stuff that's been going. You know the sayings. He's been sitting up there. He's staying in its pocket trying to get him tired. And that's exactly what happened. And everybody talking about this Philly shell roll that you didn't like. It don't matter if it didn't look good to you. If the referee told him one time, that's when Ryan dipped his head all the way down to his knee. The referee said, "Ryan, you can't go down that far." If the referee is not saying nothing, y'all can't say anything. He as long as his lower body is facing Oscar Duarte, he could move his upper body any way he chooses and pleases. And you can't hit him behind the head. Duarte just wasn't. Are we watching boxing or not? Because all Duarte had to do to stop him from doing that was as soon as Ryan leans to the side, take a step back and hit him with the straight. Wait for him to bring his head up and hit him with the straight. Floyd Mayweather used to do it to people all the time. Oscar Duarte didn't know how to do that. He didn't know how to get the clean punches off. Shout out to David Benavidez because he's very good at doing stuff like that. Ryan Garcia only did that for 2 rounds. And then he tired him out even more by getting him on his bike. If y'all was listening and watching, you heard even Sean Porter said, oh, you seen frustration out of Duarte after that round, after he was doing the Philly shell. So all of that stuff was strategic. And Ryan even laughed about it and said that Derrick James told him not to do this. But we got to get out of you don't care if you don't like Ryan or not. All those guys at 140 y'all talk about, they aren't one-punch knockout guys. They are accumulation punchers. Sabril Matias is not a one-punch knockout guy. Teofimo Lopez is not a one-punch knockout guy. So
Teo's hold on, pause on Teo. Teo put your ass in a bag now.
No, he could put your ass in a bag, Fanon, but Ryan could put your ass in a bag at any point of the fight with any punch.
Hey, man, I've seen Teofimo Lopez straighten the dude's shit out and send him twitching.
No, Fanon, I hear you, but what I'm saying is Ryan has a habit. All his knockouts look like this. Flash, quick, you don't see the punch coming. The part people don't understand is all the other guys at 140, the things that they don't do well, Ryan does well. So it's not just Ryan's defense. I'm going to be honest with y'all. If Ryan stiffens up his defense, they all are in trouble. Because Ryan has that one-punch knockout power. He's bigger, he's faster, and he's stronger than him. You got to deal with that. And all this, they'll just walk Ryan down. No, they won't, because they don't want to keep getting checked hooked. Oscar Duarte was looking good until he wasn't. And I already knew Fanon eventually he was going to catch him because in the first 5 rounds, he was hitting this boy so hard and Duarte trying to be stubborn and got knocked out. So you got to know what you're watching. And all y'all people coming up here trying to come at Ryan, Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney goes all 12 rounds with Oscar Duarte. Neither one of them stops Oscar Duarte. I hate to bring it to y'all. Neither one of them stops him. So to say Ryan ain't look good, Ryan ain't got to look good. He knocked you out. You know somebody else who don't look good all the time? Deontay Wilder. But don't get hit with that right hand. It's simple as that when it comes to Ryan. It sounds good.
Hey, Deem, hold on one second, brother. Because I got to do a couple things. First of all, Claymore Rain is in the back room, but so is Frequent Liar. Mr. Professor Play Dumb is in the back.
Oh, Lord.
So what I want to do is, because I know Claymore about to be up here, but I got to explain a rule to y'all. For real, everybody got a YouTube channel. Please understand this. I will feature you. If you want to get on here and talk on the channel, bro, you're going to get subscribers. If you just come to the channel, you jump on and you talk. There's no need to put links to your channel in the comment section. There's no need to outwardly promote yourself in that regard, bro, because just by nature of being here, you're getting introduced to an audience that's going to want to talk boxing to you. So I will, and then as I get to know you, then if I would be like, yeah, man, put the link in the chat, because there's a lot of fucking frauds out there. Deem is not a fraud. Claymore Rain is not a fraud, but I have been used on multiple occasions to piggyback people, bro, that turn around, bro, and I would never vouch for them. So that's just it's bad. And I'm just talking to YouTube content creators. There's a lot of people that are starting. It really is bad form to do things like, I don't go to other people's channels and like dive bomb their channels and go to I don't go to BFTB's channel and start saying, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, my people? I don't do that. Right? But you never see Boxing Ego come by my channel and say, what's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? I respect Boxing Ego's live stream. He'll respect my live stream. And then you're going to grow in the community, bro, just as long as you're out there talking and, leaving comments and doing things like that, man. But so when I said we violating rules, I'm doing that not because I don't want to catch an attitude one day and be like, fuck it, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean?
But it's my fault for now because I was the one who kind of brought it up and said,
no, it's not, Blood. You can do what the fuck you want to do, Blood. This is your show too. Blood wanted no. I'm just telling you that's why I said it. It's not like I got a problem, bro. Matter of fact, I hope somebody please put Claymore Rain's link in the chat. Somebody put Deem's link in the chat and let's get them both. Because I'll do this if I really want to help you grow. Just so you know, I'll say let's go and give them 20 subscribers. Their count is a number right now. Look at what their number is and get them up by 20 subscribers. I don't have a problem doing that. I would do that with people and I would get them 100 subscribers. The day that we did, I'm like, oh, you trying to get to 1,000 to get monetized? No worry, let's get you 100 a day. I used to do that all the time for people. But then the people that I did it for turned on me and fucking acted assholes towards me.
I didn't even know Claymore had a channel till just now. I know Dean has a channel.
Yeah, Dean got a channel.
Claymore.
Dean's got a channel. Claymore's got a channel. Upper Echelon's got a channel. Kai Alexander be on their channel. We don't. This is not like a community thing where it's like we have a name in a community. Everybody's just free, just flying, man, and talking boxing. It's all good. I just want to make sure you guys like know what it is. If I'm really cool with you and we're really trying to get you monetized, if you ask me, bro, I know that I can ask for a favor out of subscribers to get you a couple hundred subscribers to give you an opportunity to listen to your channel. And I'll do that myself when I know it's somebody that I trust. Like I trust Deem, I trust Claymore Rain. I know I'm not going to see y'all talking shit about me in 3 months. I'm just being honest about it, man. Because I had a bad experience with that. I had a bad experience. And I've had good experiences. Like BFTB is my dude. Like 100 miles an hour. I vouched for BFTB like every day for like 2 years because BFTB is a talented dude, even though I don't agree with him necessarily about, this thing or that thing. And he doesn't agree with me about this thing or that thing. But there's but dog, he knows his boxing and he loves boxing. And I know that he's going to be entertaining and somebody interesting for people on his channel when they're not listening to me to go listen to. But anyway, I just wanted to do that real quick so you didn't feel like I was hating on Deem or I was hating on Claymore because I'm really not, bro. And Blood Boxing, Blood, I give you respect any and every time, all the time, whether we agree or not. That's not the type of time I'm on. At the same time, though, I do like to, because just so many people on YouTube that are so full of shit, bro. Like, and the more you do it, the more you're gonna see. You got people over there just doing hate videos on you. They'll start doing all kind of shit because ultimately they're just looking for some way to get some attention, and they're not really into it to really have a good conversation about boxing where you can learn from each other. Ringside with LC say, I'm talking about Ryan can't fight on the inside, but Devin can get out. Soon as Linares and Loma can't get out. Soon as Linares and Loma got on the inside, they pieced Dev up and gave him shaky legs. Ryan fights on the inside, which is how Tank caught him. He kept to the plan. Yes, sir. Thank you, Ringside with LCD. I'm sorry I had to do that little bit of talk, brother, because I want to be able to support y'all, and I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be sitting up here feeling mean and negative in the back of my mind. But I'm gonna bring you a Deem. I'm gonna bring you and Claymore Rain up, okay, together. I'm gonna put you in the back, then I'm gonna bring you up with Claymore, okay?
Okay.
All right. Frequent, you about to tell a story. What up?
No, I was about to come up here and see something positive about Ryan until y'all start jumping out the window. All crazy talking about this shoulder roll stuff and all of that. And Devin can't punch. Man, that wasn't no shoulder roll, man. I don't know what that was. It wasn't no Philly roll for sure. When you do the Philly roll, he's supposed to put his hand up, his elbow up by his head to stop, from getting hit behind the head. But that was kind of a handicap for Duarte, whatever his name was, because he couldn't really throw his right hand, because the ref was threatening to take points from Ryan getting hit behind the head, but he kept turning his head.
See, there you go. Frequent storytelling again.
I said I was going to say something positive until y'all jumped out the window. But y'all jumped out the window, man. Y'all jumped out the window, and then Deem saw y'all fall, and he jumped right behind y'all, talking about don't nobody up there got one punch knockout power. Tio got one punch knockout power, don't he?
Yes, he does.
And that dude and Duarte, he really didn't. I think he fought good. He fought well and all of that. I think Ryan did what he had to do. The only thing I had a problem with Ryan was him turning his back all the way to the fighter like that. And then at the end, he seemed like he was acting like Shakur a little bit. But, he went into the fight. We already knew that he had punching power, that he could possibly hurt Duarte. So, he did what he had to do. I think Ryan looked good. He kept the jab out there and everything. I don't. It sounded like he wasn't listening to Derek James like that, because I heard a soundbite of Derek James telling him not to try to show the rule thing, not to do it. Because he wasn't teaching him that. So that was just something that Ryan implemented on his own without ever being taught it. He just was doing that. If he would have did that against somebody who
bro, what positive thing are you gonna say about Ryan, bro? Because you said you were, but
I
you
said
showed
the positive things already. He stuck the jab out there. His jab looked good. His power looked good in the early rounds, and he got the win. He got the win. He got the knockout. Like you said, once you knock somebody out, all of the stuff in the earlier rounds that happened before that gets erased. So, I'm happy. I was pulling for Ryan. I wanted Ryan to win. I didn't want him to lose to no Duarte.
Hey, Ryan. Hey, Cal Coolett. Cal Coolett said request for a 10-minute max timer for frequent flyer. You on the clock, bro. So let's get to the big elephant in the room. Blood saying, and I'm starting some shit. Blood saying that Devin Haney's overrated, and he don't know if Devin's gonna beat Ryan Garcia.
Yeah, that was the part too, man. Ryan, just the fear alone is going to make Ryan lose, because Ryan's scared of him, man. When you got fear in your heart, fear in your heart of somebody.
Fear of what?
He's scared of Devin Haney, aka Hanos.
Fear of Devin Haney doing what?
Come on, man. He was supposed to fight Devin, and he ducked.
Fear of Devin Haney doing what?
That's the only person you even affirmed that ducked, man. That's the only person that you even agreed ducked.
You trying to tell me he got like some kind of mental, like he's got some type of phobia, like really crazy phobia?
Yeah,
like,
it's mental, man.
Like people being scared of bunny rabbits and shit. Like
absolutely, it's mental.
Get bit by a bunny rabbit.
Nobody's scared of Devin Haney.
He's afraid of. If you calling Devin Haney a clown, well, he got a clown phobia. If he's scared of whatever it is, he's scared of him. Because how you fight your way up the rankings to face the champion, and then say no, you want to fight the person that's not the champion. And he even said out his own mouth. He said out his own mouth he's gonna save the best for last. He said that.
I tell you why. Because dog, he wanted to fight a killer. He wanted to fight a killer and get paid. He went in there and got in there with a killer and got paid.
Oh man, that was funny.
He jumped in there with a killer, bro. He didn't jump in there with a killer. Is Devin ever jumped in there?
Yeah, you're right. You know what? He got out of the way of a car and got hit by a bus.
Has Devin Haney ever got in the ring with a killer like Devin, like Ryan did?
I thought you were saying Duarte was a killer like that for a second there. He did get knocked out by Tank. Yeah.
Did Devin ever get in the ring with a killer like Ryan did?
No, the killer saw him and went the other way.
There you go, bro. No, the answer to that is hell no.
No, you said it right. There you go, bro. I was right.
He didn't get in the ring with that killer. He didn't.
They ducked.
Who ducked?
Shakur Speedingson ducked. Shakur Speedingson ducked that 25%. And Tank didn't want.
Sheldon. Hold on a second. I had to put you in the back, bro. Sheldon, because frequent fly out here lying. Hey, if Ryan lands something big, it's lights out for Devin. Don't get it twisted. Ryan has power. You got that right, Sheldon Black man. Thank you, sir. Sorry about that. And Ringside with LCD said, Coach James gave Ryan specific instructions and Ryan executed and got Duarte out of there with his skills. Yeah, he did. Man, we pro Ryan over here, bro. We ain't trying to hear none of that. Ringside LCD said after the 4th and the 5th round, you can see Ryan walking Duarte into punches. I'll pick Ryan to beat Devin. And Ringside LCD back with it said it's a freaking flyer. It's because Ryan can't make $30 million fighting Devin. And Ringside, Devin said Ryan Garcia got to eat a pair. He wanted to pay him he wanted to give Ryan Garcia a pack of Skittles and an autograph for his purse because he needs to prove it.
Man.
Go ahead, freaking flyer. Then we're gonna let Demon these dudes back up here, bro.
Oh yeah, I was saying the WBA tried to consolidate those belts, early on, and Tank Team ain't want to do that. I can't put that on Tank because I don't think that Tank.
I gotta put you out of here. And stop lying. That's a lie. That's a lie.
What part?
That's a lie. You just told a lie.
What part?
Where you said that the WBA tried to consolidate those belts and Gervonta Davis turned it down. That's a lie.
I said the Gervonta Davis team. They said they dropped the belts. They threatened to drop the belts.
No, that's a lie. I asked them that on this channel. That's a lie. I asked on this channel, after you all lied on them and said that, I asked Calvin Ford to his face, did you ever hear from the WBA about you by consolidating belts with Devin Haney? He said no. I said, did you ever call the WBA about consolidating belts with Devin Haney? He said no. That is a lie that was told.
If that was a lie that was told, then I never knew it to be a lie. I just heard that being talked about.
Flyer, you were here when we talked about it.
No, I wasn't here when you talked about that.
Yes, you were here with it, Frequent Flyer. You were on that. You were not on the panel. You were in the audience when I asked Calvin Ford myself that question. The WBA never called them and asked if they wanted to consolidate those belts. You know why? Because Devin Haney had a mandatory rematch that he had to take. He was already in an agreement to fight George Kambosos in the second fight, Frequent Flyer. Will you please stop dragging
with the consolidation incident with the WBA?
Yes. That, because there wasn't an incident. Even the fact that you're calling it an incident is a lie, because there wasn't. That was nothing but a YouTube channel putting that shit up on a title. And there was no truth to it whatsoever. None.
Okay, you say so.
That came on the heels of Bill Haney on the Shout Out to the Rise podcast, being on the Rise podcast and telling Calvin Ford, I know how you can make the fight. What you need to do is you need to call the WBA and activate the mandatory. Tell them that you want to be Devin Haney's mandatory, and that way you can get out of the rematch that you have or that you agreed to with George Kambosos. After that, a YouTube channel plastered it in the title, telling a stone cold lie that the WBA said that Gervonta Davis's team turned that down. When Gervonta Davis's team said that they never asked him about it, and why would they ask him about it? You guys just make shit up. Well, dog, dude, please don't spread made up shit for Devin. That's made up shit. 100% concocted bullshit.
Okay, well, I guess we can erase, Tank from that until, I get my research done about that. But
there's no need to research. I already told you. You were here when Calvin Ford said it. There is no mandatory, and let me also help you with this. There is none
what? No what?
Mandatory obligation for the WBA super champion to fight the WBA regular champion. There isn't one.
So that whole thing was a lie about the WBA trying to consolidate belts, period? No. It is not a lie that they're trying to consolidate belts. When the fight goes, when they order it, they can order it. They can do whatever they want because they can do whatever they want. But when a WBA champion moves up, they're not replacing the belt. They just consolidated the belt at that weight class by not having Gervonta get it and moving somebody else into that one. And also, when Terrence Crawford drops his WBA super title, Amanda Stanionis is not going to be elevated. He will just be the WBA champion. And we have already explained this in nauseam for you, sir, because we just went through how Jorge Linares was never the WBA super champion. Yeah, but
they only pulled that out They only pulled that out for Vasily Lomachenko.
Yeah, you can't have it both ways, though. You can't argue that for the WBA and then try to switch it for the WBC, though.
Excuse me,
But you
sir.
about to put me on mute.
Thing. Yeah, because the 10 minutes is up. Somebody paid to dump you after 10 minutes, and it's literally 10 minutes on the head. So I gotta respect. Oh my God, please stop. I'm tired of hearing people claim boxers are afraid of Devin. Nobody is scared of Devin. Fanboys need to stop claiming the whole universe ducked Devin. Dude, they do it so much, it's crazy. But seriously, freaking Flyer, come on back later, brother. Much love to you, much respect to you, but we got a fight about to break out. What's going on? Let's get it going.
What up, Dean?
What's up, Claymore, man? I'm sorry, bro. You my guy.
Nah, brother. Yeah, listen, that's what we here to
I
do,
just
baby.
heard a
Don't
bunch
ever
of
apologize.
blasphemy.
Let's get it. All right.
I wanted to say this. For everybody that when I talked about the Teofimo thing, while I'm saying that is because I don't know if Teofimo has not knocked nobody out at 140 yet. The last knockout Teofimo Lopez had was in 2019. Ryan Garcia does this to everybody that's not Gervonta Davis. So if we're going to talk about all the things he does bad, I have no problem with that. Ryan could get better at his defense, but every boxer at that weight division, I could tell y'all something that they don't do well. But one thing I do know, the punch everybody always talk about in boxing, it's the punch you don't see. Ryan's damn near a master at that punch. And if you're not able to just walk him down, you're going to have a tough fight with him. People up here, Frequent just was up here lying for Devin Haney doesn't stop Oscar Duarte. Shakur Stevenson, I don't think stops Oscar Duarte. So y'all can't talk about how bad somebody look when people y'all think is better than them won't have a better performance than Ryan had against that same individual. So all I'm saying is you got to respect Ryan's speed, his height, his size, his strength. Ryan throws back. So, yeah, you can take advantage of his defense and catch him with a couple punches. That is okay. Are you going to be able to take his punches? Because I believe Ryan could take punches from a Devin Haney or somebody like that. Are y'all sure they can take his punches all night, 8, 9, 10, 11 rounds? So that's the thing when I'm talking about with Ryan. We can talk about what he does bad and what he's deficient at. But don't leave out what he does good, because what he does good and what he does great, those other fighters will have a problem with. A Teofimo Lopez who was smaller, who don't like fighting on the outside. A Devin Haney who doesn't have a lot of power. A Sabril Matias who just walks to you and have a high guard. We've seen that other boy Ergashev, the first 2 rounds, have good success against Sabril Matias if you could keep him at the end of your punch. Ryan's not going to gas out in the 3rd round, though. So I just want us to be fair all the way around the board. Ryan Garcia, the first 4 rounds, he didn't do the shoulder roll thing. That wasn't an all-fight thing. He implemented that, and it worked. Because Oscar Duarte started hitting him behind his head. Started
real quick,
illegal shot.
Real quick, Dean. Shout out to Glenn. Thank you, sir. Playboy Latte 200 with the $15 holler in the Cash App. Thank you for supporting me, brother. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you. All right, get back at it. Claymore, what's up, man? What's your response to that, bro?
So look, right? When we went into that Ryan Garcia fight, we all know that we went in there to see changes that Ryan needed to make in order for him to compete at the level that we're talking about, as far as Gervonta, as far as Devin, as far as Regis Prograis, as far as the top guys in that 140-pound weight class division. Now, like I said, after you get a stoppage like that in the 8th round, the rest of the match goes into perspective. So the way he performed against Duarte, that's fine. He did what he had to do to beat Duarte. But what I'm saying is I didn't see nothing in that fight that he had with Duarte that presents any type of threat to anybody in that 140-pound division, except for what we know he already comes to the table with, which is power. He does have power. That's what we know he has. That's why I also said that he should have gotten Duarte out, in my opinion, even earlier.
Hey, Claymore, I gotta help you. I would like to help you if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead. What do you think? What's on your mind, Fanon?
Sometimes, sir, you fall victim to overstatements.
Okay.
This is how I fry you almost every time in a debate. When you say nobody, he's not going to cause any problem for anybody at 140. I think to myself that, dude, there's a bunch of dudes at 140 that Ryan Garcia will knock cold. What do you mean is maybe you don't think it's going to cause problems for some of the champions.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Right.
Yeah, but the overstatement is going to get you in trouble.
Right. My apologies. You're right. I didn't mean anybody at 140. I meant the champions, the people with the belts, except for Rolly Romero, which is why I was also going to go into. Rolly,
Rolly was going to knock out Devin too.
No,
Dog, y'all gonna be sick as shit if Rolly catch one of you motherfuckers on the chin, dog. Man, Rolly gonna light some shit up, dog, on somebody. Y'all gonna be dog. Because here's the thing, man. Can we let the element that was understood? Let the man know it's not understood. Frequent flyer, it's not understood. What you mean? It's understood. It's not understood. If you say something, bro, I'm going off what the hell you say.
My check.
I'm not going off of no shit where you say, well, you know what I mean. No, I know what you said. What happened? What happened to my guy?
I don't know.
Yeah, he'll be back though. He probably just had to jump off real quick, man. But no, man.
No, for now, I just don't like that. We got to be honest around the board. Does Ryan Garcia have things he can get better at? Yes. But we cannot act like the things he's not good at, he's not very good at, and that they are not somebody that is faster than you, stronger than you, and have quick twitch muscles more than you have is going to be a problem for any fighter. That's just the fact of the matter. Gervonta Davis, can I be real? I'm one of the biggest Gervonta Davis supporters. Gervonta Davis did not like what Ryan Garcia was doing them first couple rounds. Gervonta Davis is just actually able to catch you with one punch, not a flurry, not a combination, one punch and change the whole fight. Both of the punches he hit Ryan Garcia with was one punch. It wasn't a multitude of punches. Ryan Garcia is probably the most talented at that division. When we're talking about pure just talent, what can the guy do? It ain't too many guys if they got speed, they ain't got the strength. If they got strength, they ain't got the speed. If they got both of them, they ain't got the footwork. Ryan just has to get better at the fundamentals. What is the biggest gripe about Ryan? We're not going to change what the problems we've had with Ryan. Everybody prior to Ryan, after Ryan faced Gervonta Davis, Ryan got to get better at fundamentals. Y'all never said nothing about the man's skills or his talent. And Derrick James, I saw him to say that he didn't show nothing, Claymore. Go rewatch those first 4 rounds and tell me you didn't see a better boxer. Because I did. I seen somebody who kept his hand up way more than he usually do. I seen somebody who used his jab more than he usually do. I seen somebody that was a little more calm and patient, like he wasn't against Devin.
Like I said,
in the first 2 rounds.
Right. Like I was saying, right? When I looked at him going into that fight, I knew that Ryan had some things he needed to change. And I was looking for those things to be changed in order for me to be like, all right, I see him. I was looking at him fighting. And when I'm looking at the whole fight was, how's he going to look against Sabril? How's he going to look against Regis? How's he going to look against Devin? How's he going to look against Teo? How's he going to look against Gary, Antoine Russell? How's he going to look at the people who really run that 140-pound division? And all I'm saying is what I saw in that fight last night, though, that guy doesn't beat those guys. Maybe
hey,
Devin,
man,
maybe you want to go with Devin because you want to say as a
hey, let's wrap this up real quick because we got like 5 other dudes behind.
Okay.
And then we can come back. But seriously, man, y'all just come. We can come back to it. We just gonna let a couple cats get stuff off their chest.
You already know. Keep the show going for now.
All right, bro. We'll get back, man. Thank you, Dean. Absolutely. Thank you, Claymore. Y'all, and of course, let me just clear these out, and you guys more than welcome to come back. Blood. Oh, hey, Cornelius Burnett said, Dean.
Yeah, man.
What's going on, players? Speaking with truth, speaking truth along with logic. That happens, brother. That happens. Lottie in the building. What's going on, Lottie?
Not much. Nothing much. How you doing, Fanon?
Man, I'm well, brother. Thank you for the support and the cash app, brother. Thank you, man.
Always.
Thank you, sir. So what's on your mind, bro?
All right. So, yeah, they were just speaking out of it. I'm going to speak on it. When I was in LA for a brief moment, what I do is real estate. I got to meet Ryan. That's my guy. Went for him, had good times, had a good talk with him. The improvements that I saw in that fight, I said, okay, that's exactly where he needs to go. He needs to get better because he still crosses his feet, but that's because he's just a tall fighter and how he fights for the longest amount of time. It's scary now to see him fight because all his knockouts are usually him stationary. Now he's going backwards, and since that left hook is so second nature at the point, everybody's got to be cautious now. No matter, you can't sit there and try to hunt him. Because if you hunt, you're going to end up like Oscar, and you saw how that went out for him. And like now at this point, he needs to do better with his recency of the jab, crossing the feet, the footwork. That's the most huge thing he has to work on. And everybody was talking about, y'all was talking about how people avoiding Devin Haney. I think he's just a hard person to like really do negotiation with. Don't get it. He's a, undisputed champion and everything like that. But you got to understand something. Ryan Garcia is a bigger draw. Teofimo Lopez is a bigger draw. There's guys that, even though you undisputed, are bigger draws than you. And I think he's just a hard individual to work with because he wants that big payout. I get you the champion, you the undisputed guy. But you got to understand something, my guy. You a hard person to work with. And especially when we hear all this drama, and I don't try to keep up with it, but hearing more and more of Devin's name, I'm like, dude, why does it feel like you're a person that's just difficult to do? Like, difficult to do business with? Why? Like, you gotta sit there and look at it from that perspective. Like, all right, well, let's say we can do something with percentage, but let's make it to the point where we don't gotta take all the draw and sit there and be like big head about it, and then sit there and look at it from a perspective of, let's give them something so that they just accept these fights and that we can prove that we the best, instead of just sitting here having these difficult conversations and saying things that don't make true or that isn't true. It's weird.
Hey, you hear that, frequent flyer? Somebody else asking y'all to stop lying so damn much. Hey, what's your take on that? Hey, thanks, Lottie. What's your take on that, Blood? You've been sitting there in silence, probably chilling, smoking a cigar or something. What's up?
Yeah, I'm chilling, man. No, man. I think that Devin Haney is a little bit delusional, man. And he is a hard guy to negotiate. He isn't as big of a draw as people say he is. I don't think he's as talented as people think he is either. And, it's just one of these things. His opinions are all over the place here at 140. There's 4 champions at 140. There's a lot of opening styles make fights. When it really comes down to it in the end, you got Matias, you got Teofimo Lopez, you got Regis Prograis with one of the belts, and you got Romero. And all these different styles are going to be different for different fighters. We can't use triangle theories and things like that. So it's interesting just sitting back hearing the different fans' takes, which leads me to believe that these guys got to come up with some kind of a unification too and include Matias in the conversation, because Matias is getting left out a lot. A lot of people keep talking about Teofimo and Devin Haney, and they pick their names, Rolly Romero, Ryan Garcia, who doesn't even have one of the belts right now. So, let's just include Matias in some of this stuff too. It's 4 champions right now. So there's all kind of openings there and opportunities for these fighters to either unify. Ryan Garcia right now, he's just one of the contenders when it really comes down to it.
Yeah, he is.
Romero, what is he going to do? He's the weak link. Is he going to fight any of the other champions? Is he going to fight a Ryan Garcia? Is he going to move up to 147? Because even Devin Haney is talking about going up and fighting Keith Thurman or something like that.
Man,
please don't do that.
These ideas are all over the place, man.
Hey, Lottie, come back again, bro. I got like 2 guys right behind you, bro.
All right, you go ahead. Run that show.
And for real, thank you for coming by, man. And thank you for the support for the channel, Lottie. It means a lot, man. Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Get back, man. Appreciate you, sir. Let me get Ray Davis. Let me get 2. 2 Cents said the Ryan hate is real. All Ryan needed to do was take his craft more serious. Ryan grew up fighting with top fighters. He is not too far behind them. No, he's not too far behind him, man. I'm telling you, Rolly gonna fuck around and knock one of y'all out. Okay, keep playing with Rolly. I like y'all treat Rolly like Rolly will not clip Devin Haney, man. You act like these boys, man. I'm telling you, man, these dudes. I got 2 fighters that I think are really, really like that. We're at the lightweight division. And it was Shakur. And I see you, Rollo. Don't you worry, Rollo. You next. You second to next, brother. Rollo about to try to go in on me, man. My guy Rollo. And I'm gonna be polite and try to not yell or anything. I'm gonna fail miserably at it. But hey, yeah, dog, they hating on Ryan, bro. They hate on Ryan. Ryan can knock somebody out cold. Devin can get slapped upside the head for 12 rounds by Lomachenko. Ryan gets hit twice in a whack-ass shell, knocks a dude out, and he's exposed. Aaron Muhammad said, Fanon, just some support for grown folk boxing talk this morning. Tell Frequent Flyer to double up on the support to cover them fables he's spitting. Dog, for real, Frequent Flyer, bro. Actually, Frequent Flyer does a good service, man, because his shit's so obvious. So obvious, everybody has to see it. Ray Davis in the building. What's going on, brother Ray?
What's going on, Fanon? What's going on, Blood Boxing? Good morning and salutations to you, gentlemen. Over here it's afternoon, but just want to say that yes, I talked to both Claymore and Dean.
Real quick, hey Rollo, I'll put you up here so you wouldn't have to sit in the back too long, brother.
Yeah, I talked to both of them, and both had disdained conversations, and with both of them, I kind of lean more towards Dean's statements, but I had to also talk to him about certain things. As far as which I don't want to bring Devin Haney into the conversation because this is not about Devin. I think that our dislike for Devin, not you guys necessarily, but the fan base dislike for Devin Haney paints him into a bad space and takes away what his skill set is. So we have to stop looking at what our judgments are of a person's character and not so much do that sometimes and take away his skill set. The dude has talent, man. At the end of the day, talent is what does it in the ring. As far as Ryan, I'm applauding that man. So I am riding because I think that he showed a lot of different things. Now, when I was talking with Claymore, I did display that Ryan came in there a little uncomfortable after a loss. That's what I seen, and he was doing the jab well. Just to kind of feel his way around the ring. And as he progressed into the fight, he seemed to be getting a little loose with it, I would say. And then when he realized he was in he wasn't being as instinctive as he should have, he started listening to his coach. He did make adjustments, though, later in that fight. I think around the 6th round, he started making adjustments, even though he was a little backpedaling and he was listening to coach. That shows something in a fighter that was outside of the ring after a loss, because it's hard coming back from a loss, especially to somebody of great talent and being embarrassed the way he was. It shows something in character in a fighter. So I give Ryan all the daps in the world. Now, to touch base on Claymore's point, 140 is a bad division. Actually, it's no longer a bridge division. It is actually a division that has made it because you got nothing but killers in that ring at that division. And we're going to see in the test of all these fighters that are up there. By seeing these guys that in this situation, we are going to see it. And we're going to see all these guys get in the ring, and they have to be battle tested. And when they show themselves to be who they really are, as they say, when the hood's pulled from over their head and Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine pulls them out, we'll find out who they are in that ring. And that's at the end of the day. That's what we're looking at. We good with that though. Yeah, I'll wait in the back room for my boys to come back on because I did talk to them both, Fanon. So I just wanted to say salute, good morning. And shout that out.
For sure. All right, Ray, get back, man. Real quick before we get to Rollo Green. Freaking Flyer said, don't skip past my super chats. I didn't skip past your super chats. When did I do that? I did not skip past you. Man, you no, yeah, I didn't skip it. That's all, folks. Oh, yeah, and Devin Haney, bro. You be making me talk about God dog, Devin. It is Devin got to fight next week, though. Hey, Keith knows that I really appreciate what Blood is saying. I think who's on top is between Matias, Gary Antoine Russell, Tio, and Ryan, and maybe Devin too. Need to see these guys fight each other. Yeah, but don't worry about it. You know what the deal is. We're gonna hear what the deal is from Rollo in a second. And little support for the Devin pay-per-view. Yeah, dog. Hey man, it's expensive. Seeing Devin is going to be so much more expensive than seeing Ryan fight. Rollo, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me, man? Salutes for now.
I can hear you well. Salute, brother. Go ahead, man.
Man, I had something to say, but it's been so much bullshit spewed up here. I don't know where to start. Let's go with the fundamental part that the one guy said about Ryan. It's too late in the game to be not having fundamentals. That's why out of I've been following these boys since the amateurs. That's why out of Shakur, Tank, and Devin, because they all in the same, he's the only one that ain't been a champion. Why? Because he lacks skills. I didn't know why at first until what's his name, Roosin said this boy don't listen. And you can clearly see he's like my son. He's like he stands there and take a picture waiting on his left hook to hit and gets countered. He don't get back in defensive position when he's swinging. He reaches a lot, especially when he starts getting frustrated, which what got him stopped by a Tank. He gets excited and just goes for the gusto. He's not good at all. I don't know what y'all seeing. And as far as the one punch, anybody can catch a guy with low skills who's not getting his hand back, who don't know to step around off of this punch and get out. Anybody can catch that guy with a good punch and put him down. And that's what Ryan's been a recipient of his whole career. He's fighting low-level guys or older guys who's going to get tired and not step around after that punch comes. That's where his knockouts is coming from. He's not good at all. This is why you see Devin fight 72 rounds worth of champions.
Hey, man, then how did he beat Devin Haney so many times in the amateurs?
It's the amateurs. And first of all, let me get to it's the amateurs. They started fighting when they was like 13, and Devin took the last ones. They started fighting early. He's a big boy now. Ryan is a big boy. And in amateur play, when you got that headgear on and you ain't got to get your head out the way as much, so you can throw that long one too and bank on it and not get around because you protect it. But this is why he gets cuts on his eyes, and Devin ain't got a scratch in 72 fights against champions. Because it's the skill set. It's the one. When I throw this, the dough to get out the way. And Ryan,
you sure Devin ain't got a scratch? Because I know I saw his face swole up against Lomachenko.
He had a couple of red marks on his face, but
no, his shit was all swole up, bro.
Nah, he had a couple of red. Loma don't even throw punches like that. Loma don't. You want
me to show you the picture?
No, I know the picture. I've seen every Devin fight.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, though. I know I see the picture.
Devin don't get black eyes like Ryan got a big cut over his eye. He keep getting dropped. That's because he's not getting back in defensive position because his fundamentals is low. But at 25, 26 years old in the big league, making $30 million, you're not going to catch up to Devin and Tank and Shakur. So he's nothing. He's nothing. Ryan's nothing. Let's go to Matias, the stand still and need you to stand still. Y'all think he's going to beat Devin? Man, y'all crazy. That man needs you to stand still and just stay there so he can throw 40 punches at you. Man, that's not working on no Devin Haney. So y'all just, I don't know. Maybe you dudes never boxed. I've been in the gym. Y'all need to go to the gym and actually see what the trainers over there teaching, and then you'll see, damn, that's why Rolly got hit with that punch the Tank caught him coming in with. Y'all will see the lack of skills in Rolly. Ryan's a decorated Rolly. Rolly has no skills. He's going to get caught by that counter or trap every single time he faces an elite fight. Just like Ryan. Ryan proved who he was. He's getting dropped by old Luke Campbell's. Luke just was too old to stay in there long enough.
You sure got a lot of reasons for everybody. Everybody in boxing sucks, huh, Rolly? I mean, so
hell no. Tank is a bad.
But everybody he fought sucks. I mean, how you know he's good if everybody he fought sucks? You said Rolly sucks.
Tank fought sucked, but everybody he fought, it was an advantage to Tank. So when you weight drain and rehydrate clause, a guy like Mario, where he could only go up 10, where he done lost 17, and then in the 7th round, where he done sweated off another 3.5 pounds, and he's tired now, he can't get out of her. Now he's getting caught, and that's what Mario
was getting caught the whole fight.
No, Mario was
yes. Rolly Romero, Mario Barnes is getting caught that whole fight.
Mario was outboxing.
The whole fight.
That's why Mayweather came over. Please, man, I need you, Tank. You know we got the whole house bet on you, baby. I need you. That's why Mayweather came and said that. And that was after the first knockdown. And I done watched the fight 1,000 times, so I could be right with my argument. he was absolutely down because he was getting out boxed. What happened was after you done sweated off 3 or 4 pounds over the course of the first 6 rounds, you get slower. You're already a slow foot.
Brother, he was not down.
Huh?
He was not down. No, he
He
was
most definitely. And when you go to the cards, when you take away the 2,
I'm gonna go right to the cards. I'm gonna go right to the cards. This man, I'm going to go right to the card.
So go up to the first.
At the time of that knockout, that fight was David Sutherland had it 97-91 for Tank. Barry's Lindemann had it 96-92 for Tank. And Zach Young had it 96-92 for Tank.
No doubt about it. But let's not
so
forget
Tank was up 5 rounds on one card and 4 rounds on another. And the fight went 10 rounds. Mario Barrios won round 9. He had a 10-7 round and 10-8. He lost round on all 4 cards. He lost round 7. All 3 cards, he lost round 5, 6, and 7, and 3. So Mario Barrios was up after the second round. He was up on 2 cards because he won on 2 cards. He won the first. On the second, he won in the second round. He won on all 3. Right. Then he lost on all 3 in the fourth. After the fourth, he was back up.
So let me
then the fifth. Listen, he lost the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th. Then he got the 9th. Then he lost the 10th, and then he got his ass knocked out.
And I understand that. Go look at the fight and go look at that.
I saw the fight, bro. I saw Gervonta Davis whooping his ass from about the 5th round all the way to the end of the fight. I saw him whoop his ass.
Look at the CompuBox numbers in the fight and see that.
I'm talking about the scorecard. I saw it. He whooped his ass, man. He whooped his ass from about the 4th round all the way till he stopped his ass.
And he did, but that's what makes Tank special is he's not gonna go in there and just outclass you like a Devin.
He did outclass him. He knocked him out. He outclassed him. The man won round. He won on all scoring cards. 5, 6, 7.
He didn't outclass
5,
Mario.
6,
He knocked
7,
Mario out.
9. Dude, bro, for real. He won on all 3 scorecards. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 10, and he knocked him out, bro.
From the fight I seen, Mario was up.
Mario was not up. He was getting up. Maybe that's what are you confusing the fact that he had to get up?
But this
dude, he had a 10-7 round on him, dog. He had a 10-7 round. You realize most 10-7 rounds that's 2 knockdowns in 1 round.
I understand that.
He was beating his ass up. Come on. And then he stopped him later on.
He most definitely wasn't. Later on, he got
beating his ass up, bro. I watched that fight. I watched that fight not more than 2 months ago, bro. He beat that boy up.
When they're both fresh and in the rehydration don't come in where he done sweated 3 pounds.
What rehydration? The dude was the champion at 140. He fought at a full 140.
He was the beat, and so let's get to this. The reason why the system is so
I gotta understand, Rollo. Why you hate Gervonta?
I don't hate Gervonta. I think he's.
I think you hate Gervonta, bro. I think you do.
Okay, well, let me tell you what my problem is with Gervonta. Okay, so my problem is this, and that's why the system is messed up because Gervonta and his fans. So when you get
so you hate Gervonta's fans too? All of the fans? He got a lot of fans, Rollo.
I don't like their thought process of protecting Tank because he's been at 135 for 7 years coming up, and he's never fought the top champion.
What?
How is that even possible?
What?
He's been at 135 since 2019. What's that? 4 years going on 5 years.
How to see, bro? Do you see how the exaggeration cuts off? You went from 2019, which is 4 years ago, to 7.
Well, what I meant to say was he hasn't fought a standing champion in 7 years. But
bro, he did fight a standing champion in 7 years. Mario Barrios, that we're just talking about, and he beat Leo Santa Cruz. And at 130, yes, he has, man.
Okay,
so man, why are you hating on Tank, man?
I'm not. So this is what I'm saying. You Tank fans, if he got the WBA, so go after the champion. That's what that belt means. That belt means that you have earned the position to go after the champion. So
no, it doesn't. The WBA championship means you're the WBA champion, bro.
Man, cut it out. don't do this and protect the fighter, man. He had
I'm not
option.
protecting him. I'm just
So let
trying
me
to
ask
get
you
around
this.
what you're talking about,
Let
Rollo.
me ask you this.
It seems, just give me a second. I have to be honest with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You seem a little biased
How?
because number one, you said that Gervonta Davis basically acted like by moving up at 135 to 140, that he weight drained the guy that was in the weight division he moved into.
This is true.
So but see, how is that true? Gervonta was at 135, he moved up.
Right.
So how did he weight drain the guy? How
So
was
he
he
needed
weight draining the
advantage.
guy when he moved up?
He needed the advantage to do that.
That's
And
not an Doug. So you're trying
it
to tell me
is.
that Gervonta Davis, that Devin Haney can move up, fight Jaron Ennis, and I can say, oh, that Devin weight drained Jaron Ennis by moving
Okay.
up. Gervonta Davis will be the only person in the history of boxing ever to weight drain somebody by moving up to fight him.
So let me break it down too, because maybe y'all don't understand. So,
bro, I understand, dude. It's impossible.
Mario probably, what you say he's walking around? If he at 140,
Man, I don't want to guess, bro. He was a
know it.
140-pound champion.
Deal with the issues at hand. How can
Bro,
you talk
he
to Tank
fought
fans?
at
Y'all don't
one.
wanna deal-
Come on, Rollo. He's
So-
the 140-pound champion.
Let's talk boxing. Let me ask you this.
I am talking boxing.
How much fluid
140 pounds is a weight class.
Let me,
He
how
is
much
the
fluid-
140. Come on, man. He is the 140-pound.
That's established. We don't
Dude,
gotta
you
waste
got to be
words on
fair.
that.
Try to be fair. Hold on, man. I don't want to have to put you on mute. Look, man, you got to try to be fair. Gervonta Davis was fighting at 135 pounds. I do believe the last fight before that, he might have even been at 130.
He fought Leo at 130. Went down.
So let me get this right. So a guy that fought at 130 moves up to 140.
After he already had the 135 championship.
He moves up to 140.
And this is what I'm
and
talking
fights
about.
the guy that is the reigning, that is a champion at 140. But it was the guy that moved up from 130 to 140. It was weight draining somebody.
Yeah, when you put a rehydration clause on somebody, you weight draining them. You weight draining. So how much fluid do you think these boxers lose in camp?
I'm not going to guess at this. All I'm going to tell you is you got.
Y'all don't want to.
The only thing that I'm going to tell you is, brother, you are got some amazing ass logic, bro.
Y'all want to live in a
because Devin Haney, excuse me, bro. Devin Haney is literally fighting guys.
Champion.
Literally fought guy. Lomachenko came up from 126.
Champion though. Unified champion.
He came up and see that's an experience. Lomachenko can go up multiple weight classes to fight Devin, who is definitely blowing up, according to Mauricio Suleiman, up 24 pounds. In 24 hours, he moves up 24 pounds.
And he fought the highest ranked guy in the lightweight division over the last.
And Devin Haney and Gervonta Davis moved up and fought the highest ranked guy in the WBA.
Ain't no way he fought the highest ranked guy when Josh Taylor was, because Josh Taylor was undisputed.
Well, then how did Lomachenko move up and fight the toughest guy when Devin was undisputed? Lomachenko didn't have a belt when he fought Devin Haney.
So Loma been.
Oh, you're tripping up, dog. You're tripping up. You're fucking up. I mean, I don't mean to say it, but you're fucking up.
Loma been champion since 2019. He
wasn't champion at all.
He was the champion in 2019.
He was not the champion at all when Devin fought him. Devin was undisputed, wasn't he?
I know it. So you said,
and didn't Lomachenko lose all his belts to Teofimo Lopez? Yes, yeah, so he was not champion.
But what I'm saying is Loma had been a 135er for 5 years already.
And he was not the champion.
In 2019, Loma
and how long had Mario Barrios been a 140-pounder? Come on, man. Mario Barrios had been a 140-pounder for years.
Mario's a decent fighter, but if you want me to explain what happened,
I want you to be consistent in your criticism, man. You don't have the same standard for Gervonta you have for Devin. You have very unfair
how
standards.
Can I when one guy's collecting primary belts and the other guy's collecting B belts? How can I have the same?
Gervonta Davis has won more fights for primary belts than Devin has.
When
he won 3 of them at 130. When he beat 3 of them at 130. Devin Haney has won primary belts in 1 fight. 1 fight.
Devin had 4 primary belts. Gervonta
Davis, Devin Haney won primary belts in 1 fight. 1. Can you
Devin
give me a
got-
second one? George Kambosos in the first fight.
Right.
That's the
That's
only
the
one he
only
did it
standing
in.
champion Devin ever beat.
Excuse me, sir. That's my point. He beat one guy. So don't say he's the one doing all it is. He beat one guy for belts. One.
Okay, don't. I said that one guy is fighting for primary belts, and the
How
other guy
many?
is
And
fighting.
Gervonta Davis.
He
Gervonta
went
Davis
undisputed
beat
in his
Leo Santa
respective
Cruz.
weight class.
Excuse me, sir. Gervonta Davis beat Leo Santa Cruz for a primary belt. He beat Jose Pedraza for a primary belt. That's two guys.
Right. Let me ask you this.
Devin Haney beat one guy for a primary belt. Last time I checked, two is more than one.
Primary belts?
Yes.
Who got more
Primary belts.
belts?
He became the IBF. He became the IBF champion by a
preaching to the choir.
130-pound belt. He beat Jose Pedraza to become the primary champion for the IBF. That's one. He beat Leo Santa Cruz to become the primary champion for the WBA super title at 130 pounds. That's two.
He went back down to beat Leo Santa Cruz.
It doesn't matter. He fought the guy,
okay.
and he also fought him for his belt.
I know it. So let
He
me ask
put
you
both
this.
belts on the line.
So what was that at? That was at 130?
Dude, you said primary. Now you want to pick the weight class?
No, I'm
Now
just asking.
it only counts if it's. Hey, be careful because
I'm
of it.
asking
Keep
the
question.
question.
Be careful because I'm gonna beat you at this too. Because
asking
once
the
you
question,
say that
what
only
did they fight
135 counts, why didn't he fight? Why didn't he fight Shakur for a primary belt?
Why didn't who fight? Shakur?
I've never heard of Gervonta Davis ducking a mandatory.
Right. Why didn't he go down and fight Shakur for that 130 belt when he
Why?
fought Leo?
Why didn't he go fight Shakur? Go down to no. That's not what I asked. What I said was, why didn't Devin defend his titles against Shakur? Why did he drop his belt not to fight his mandatory? That was a primary belt he gave up, so he didn't have to fight
He
Shakur.
did that. He gave the man the opportunity. He passed
He didn't
it
give
up.
the man an opportunity. He dropped his belt.
Not
He
before
didn't give them a
after
lot,
he-
dude. He did not give that man an opportunity because he
after
dropped the
he
belt.
took the contract.
Dude, he did not give him an opportunity because
Did
he
he
dropped the belt.
I heard Shakur say that he's turned down to 25%.
Did you hear Devin Haney drop the belt?
Yeah, I heard that too.
So therefore,
He thinks
Devin
Shakur
Haney,
won.
did you see Shakur Stevenson fight for the belt Devin dropped?
I seen him. Yeah, I seen him. I seen
Go
him.
ahead and hate on him. Go ahead and hate on him. Go ahead and
Well,
say
it's
he
not
was
hate. It's
terrible.
just calling it what it was. He ran like that surprised
No.
me about
Devin,
Shakur.
no. Shakur didn't run. Devin ran.
Oh, I'm talking about in the fight
Shakur
against
actually
Santos.
boxed that guy.
Nah, I
Shakur
wouldn't
got
call
in
it
the
boxing,
ring with that guy.
but
Devin wouldn't even get in the ring.
because
Devin wouldn't look. Devin would not look Shakur in his eye. Would not stand and face Shakur in a ring when Shakur was fully dressed.
So this is my thing. Devin went going to 140 fighting the champion.
You're a Devin fan, bro.
Tank went to 140 and fought the secondary champion. Tank went down to 130 and fought Leo after he already won the WBA from Gamboa, which would have allowed him in 2019 to call and forgive me, but I'm just to go whoop this white boy who calling him out, man. The white boy called him out April 2019. Loma called that boy out, and Tank didn't want no part of it.
First of all, no, he didn't.
Yeah,
I'd like to correct that
April
record.
12th was I got
No, brother, I would like to correct that record. What happened was, because I did a video about it, what happened was this. Floyd Mayweather Jr. said something about Lomachenko. Lomachenko then told Floyd to get in the ring. Then when everybody got on Lomachenko for trying to call out Floyd Mayweather Jr. when he knew he was never going to fight Floyd Mayweather Jr., I got the video on my channel up. Then he said, oh, I'm talking about Gervonta. Do you know what he did after that? He left the weight class. Yeah, he did.
Gervonta Davis I know what you're talking about. Wait a minute. I know you're talking about 130, but I'm not talking about 130. See, I'm talking about 135.
Then Lomachenko never called out Devin Haney.
Most definitely.
Never
So let me tell you, April the 12th, 2019, right after Loma fought, Tank didn't fight to that October. Right.
Excuse me. What was the date of this? You said
2019, April 12th. Loma fought and got the WBA belt.
Gervonta Davis. Okay, and what happened?
I know what you about to say. Let me finish.
That Gervonta Davis had? You mean that he wasn't even at the weight class at the time?
Wait,
He was.
so wait, let me finish. And this is what
Nah, dog. See, when you know what I'm gonna say, that means you know what lie you told.
it's not
That man was
lie.
not on the weight. That man was not in the weight class at that time.
So let me kill you.
He wasn't even at the weight. No, dude.
You're absolutely
you know
right.
what I'm gonna say.
Right.
If you know what I'm gonna say, then why do you say what you said? You gave a date in which you said you're not talking about 130, but the date that you said Gervonta Davis had not even had his first lightweight fight yet, which did not happen until December 28th. December 28th of 1919. He's 1929, 2000. Dog, stop, Rollo. I gotta put you on pause because you got busted. Okay, I gotta put you on pause because you got busted. You just said that he called the man out, and when Lomachenko had left the weight class, but Devin Gervonta wasn't even in it.
Can I finish now?
I mean, as long as you know that you're telling us, as long as you know that he wasn't in that weight class at that date.
When I put it in context, it's all gonna make sense. So Loma,
what does context mean when you manipulate it and make something else up? Because the man wasn't in the weight class.
Understand. April 19, Loma won the WBA.
April 19th of what?
2019. April 12th, 2019.
He won what belt?
WBA champion.
What in what weight class?
At 135.
And was Gervonta in that weight class at the time?
No, he was not.
Okay, continue.
So Loma calling him out.
When did he call him out?
I just told you, April 12th, 2019.
When Gervonta was not in the weight class.
What was Gervonta's very next fight in December?
Gervonta's, he was not in the weight class. You're not in the weight class till you have that fight. He was not in the weight class.
So listen, if
the date he called him out, the date you say he called him out,
right?
The date he called him out, because you say he called him out in the ring. Did he call him out in the ring?
He was calling him out everywhere.
No, I want to know where this call out happened. In the ring? Because what I heard was that he wanted undisputed. That's what I heard Lomachenko say. Lomachenko was going up because he wanted undisputed.
You're right.
So how can you be calling out somebody that's at 130?
You have to
if you're going for undisputed in the weight class ahead of time. That doesn't make much sense, Rollo.
It makes perfect sense because if
I'll ask blood boxing this because I need an interpreter.
If Tank is going to fight
blood boxing, excuse me, sir. Can I just need a yes or no question? I'm sorry because Rollo's not going to be receptive to this. If Lomachenko says he's fighting for undisputed at 135, and Gervonta Davis is at 130, is Vasily Lomachenko trying to fight Gervonta Davis at 130 while he goes for undisputed at 135?
No, he's trying to go for undisputed at 135.
Thank you very much, Rollo. Thank you. I was just checking I was just checking my logic there, Rollo.
Okay,
go ahead.
Let me finish though, please, man.
But you're trying to be manipulative, brother. I can't let you slide. I can't let you slide, bro.
You only heard half of my story. How you gonna know what?
It's a story. Because it's a story.
Loma called him out.
When did he call him out at 135 when he was going for undisputed and Gervonta wasn't there?
Listen.
You keep saying that's true, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense. Because Gervonta's still at 130 with no belts at 135. The WBA belt that Gervonta Davis fought for was the one that Lomachenko had.
He got it from Gamboa, right?
Dude, Lomachenko's first fight was against Jorge Linares.
Right. Okay. I know.
Jorge Linares had the WBA, the same championship that Gervonta Davis got.
Okay.
Lomachenko won that belt, but then got elevated to the WBA Super Championship. Gervonta then later moved up and got the fight that Lomachenko that went vacant when Lomachenko got elevated.
Okay.
So how is it that Lomachenko was calling out Gervonta Davis before he got to the weight class, saying that when he says that he wants belts that Gervonta doesn't have, and then when Gervonta got there, Gervonta didn't even fight for.
He didn't want nothing. He wanted Tank.
He didn't fight for any of the belts that Lomachenko was then looking for. He already had the WBA regular, and the WBA World Championship, what you call the regular. He was elevated to the super, so he didn't have to fight mandatories. Then he went for the WBO, which, guess what? Gervonta didn't have, but a guy that Gervonta already beat did have in Jose Pedraza. Then, after that, he went and fought Luke Campbell for the WBC belt that was vacated by Mikey Garcia. And after that, he then went and got the IBF belt, which was held by Teofimo Lopez. Okay. None of those belts were held by Gervonta Davis. He said that he wanted undisputed, but you're somehow trying to inject Gervonta Davis into Lomachenko's desired path at 135, which he explicitly states he is not by going for undisputed.
Okay, so
I think you're framing what I'm going to tell you what you're doing, Rollo, because I got to let you go. Is you are.
So you're not going to let me finish my.
Dog, you are framing Gervonta Davis for a duck. That's what you're doing. So you're doing what a good Devin Haney fan does. You're trying to frame Gervonta Davis for a duck and act like he ducked Lomachenko when that's not true, because Lomachenko wasn't even trying to fight him and he wasn't even in the weight class.
So let me finish my point. And then you can say it. But how you stopping me on page 2 when my book go to 10 and telling me about my book?
Because fiction now, I don't want a fiction novel.
I'm not fiction, but you won't.
If you're gonna start a story, if you're gonna start a story that is nonfiction, which means you are giving me things that actually took place, we can keep going. But if you start writing, if you start pulling out a Stephen King novel, if you start pulling out a Stephen King novel and start coming up with Carrie and and all ghost stories and shit like that, bro, this is a nonfiction. This is a nonfiction conversation.
Have you ever had a truth that was so wild you was afraid to tell it until you could show the people the pieces, and then they're like, "Damn, it's a wild story, but it is the truth."
No, so never experienced that.
Yeah, that happens all the time.
So go ahead and go ahead. But if as soon as you say something's not true, I'm going to stop you.
So how can we have a conversation if you cut me off?
By not saying things that are not true.
But who are you to say if they're true? So he called him out April the 12th, 2019.
He called him out for a fight where?
At 135. He
wasn't even at 135. And he said he was trying to get undisputed. God. Dude, he did not do that. He did not call that man out because that man was going for undisputed. And Gervonta Davis did not hold any of the belts, and he was not in that weight class.
Listen, Tank Davis had a chance to fight Loma for the WBA.
Did not, because Gervonta Davis did not hold any of the belts that Lomachenko said he wanted.
He didn't need them.
He was not at the weight class.
He didn't need them. He
did to become undisputed. He needed them.
No,
Lomachenko said that he wanted undisputed.
Tank didn't need none of the belts because Loma wanted to fight
Lomachenko wanted. I gotta go, Rollo.
No, let me finish. What's kind of shit
no, because you're making something up, Rollo.
I'm not. When you're not gonna let me finish. So Tank's first fight at 135 could have been for the WBA against Loma. Loma said it. Come on, I want you. He said it after his fight on the 12th.
He said he wanted undisputed.
Instead, Tank went up and fought Gamboa when Loma was saying, "Come and fight the champion." Loma was telling him, "Come and fight me, the champion. I want you. You free. I'm free."
You just
made he went and fought for a B-level belt against Gamboa. Why he didn't fight Loma when Loma was calling him out?
Bro, you're just making shit up.
How?
Because he's going for undisputed.
This is before that, Fanon. That's what
I'm
saying.
He said he wanted to be undisputed.
No, Fanon.
He was not. You said he called him out. You gave a date.
He did.
This man was not. You can stop.
Somebody
this man wasn't even at the weight. Oh, I gotta go, Rollo. I gotta go because there's other people, bro. I gotta go, bro. The man wasn't even at the weight class, man. What's going on? What's going on? Hey, what's going on, Lottie? What's going on, Lottie? You're on mute, Lottie. What's up, Lottie?
All right, there we go. Violet, my fault. I'm sorry. Not much good, bro. Why do these Devin Haney fans always do this, man? Wow, like.
You know, I can't hear you. All right, I gotta let you go, bro. You broke out. All right, bro. Those two things cannot be true at the same time, bro. Okay. Lomachenko, you cannot duck somebody when you're not in a weight class. And just because somebody says let's fight doesn't mean you can fight.
Yo, for now, when did Devin Haney get all these really extreme fans?
Bro,
I've been missing out, but he's got some really like extreme fans that are really delusional about a lot of things, and they love to accuse people of ducking all the time. I notice,
dude. You know, let me tell you, man, blood. They have accused everybody in the lightweight division of ducking Devin Haney. When these are the type of conversations I got to have with these dudes, blood. Teofimo Lopez had a mandatory against George Kambosos. A mandatory that was ordered before he fought Lomachenko. They claimed Teofimo Lopez ducked Devin Haney by fighting George Kambosos in a fight that was mandated before Teofimo Lopez even won the IBF belt and before he fought Vasily Lomachenko. When Vasily Lomachenko decided to fight Teofimo Lopez for a unification fight, they said he ducked Devin, even though Devin wasn't even his mandatory. Despite the fact that unifications trump mandatories.
Absolutely.
Dude, these are simple, basic things, man. They said they accused Devin of Gary Russell Jr. of ducking Devin Haney.
He's a different weight class. He was featherweight.
He's a 126 pounder. And because he wouldn't move to 135 and fight Devin on Devin's terms,
that makes no sense.
It's ridiculous. Dude, Devin Haney literally, bro, can say anything to these people, man, they buy it. Devin Haney literally said that he was the face of boxing. He said it no more than 2 weeks ago.
But we know that's not true.
That he said he's the face of the boxing, and he's the only guy out there selling out arenas.
That's ridiculous.
I'm trying to tell you, it's freaking mind-boggling, bro. These people
are they trying to take the place as the dumbest fan base ever?
Man, they don't care, bro. They don't care about the truth at all. They don't care about the truth at all, dude. Devin Haney said. Devin Haney is said that he's the A side. These people say that that Devin Haney is the A side over Gervonta Davis. Shakur, this man can drop. Dude, please tell me, blood, if you've ever heard of this, where a fighter can offer his mandatory less than the mandatory purse split, because 25% of the available purse is less than that the WBC anybody would get as a WBC mandatory. Let alone Shakur, who is a very well-known fighter that makes a lot of money.
Right.
I mean, I'm telling you that if what's that guy's name that we just fought last night? They just fought last night. If Oscar Duarte, or better yet, Ismael Barrosa was the mandatory for Devin Haney, he would have got 30%. Without a doubt. If Rayo Valenzuela was the mandatory for Devin Haney, he would have got at least 30%. If Chris Colbert was the mandatory for Devin Haney, he would have got at least 30%. Devin offers Shakur Stevenson 25. And then when Devin refuses it, when Shakur refuses it, Devin drops his belt,
right,
and moves up in weight.
That's exactly what he did.
And they say Shakur's the one that ducked.
This is a really dumb fan base. See, I haven't been really up on the fan base of Devin Haney, but from the sounds of it, man, and picking up on a few things, this fan base really needs to knowledge up on a whole bunch of stuff. They're basically fans of a narrative that's coming from Devin Haney, and perhaps I know his father goes out and does a lot of promotion for him and things like that, but they got to sit back and they got to learn the sport themselves and formulate their own opinions, man. That's why I've always had a problem with fanboys. And I tell you what, each extreme fan base gets even more stupid as the years roll by. It's really ridiculous. And then on top of that, to say that he ducked Gary Russell, that's a different weight class. That's a novelty fight. So it just doesn't make any sense whatsoever. All of this stuff about people ducking Devin Haney, I don't think nobody's afraid of Devin Haney. Devin Haney had 3 belts at 135. He doesn't punch hard. The kid hasn't got no kind of knockout in years. It's not like he's bringing fear to the division like, hey, I'm going to get knocked out by Devin Haney. Anybody got a chance against Devin Haney. And I'm sure they would love a chance to pick up them 3 belts when he had all 3 of them, right, at the time. So I don't believe that anybody's ever ducked Devin Haney. He's not the face of boxing. He doesn't sell out arenas. You showed us yesterday that, you know, these places still had tickets available and things like that. And if I'm not mistaken, this next fight with Regis Prograis, where's that fight taking place at?
San Francisco.
So it's in his home. So he should have been sold that shit out. Oh, I could tell you right now, Devin Haney won't. Nobody knows Devin Haney in the state of Florida. I could tell you that right now. Devin Haney could come over here and hang out with me all day. I'll take him to the hood. Wouldn't nobody know who Devin Haney is? I'll be shocked if anybody knows who this guy is. The face of boxing, he can't never be. The face of boxing is Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson, as far as I'm concerned. Because every time I hear casuals talk about boxing in the barbershop, or whether it's on wherever I go, if I'm hanging around some hood brothers or even white people or whatever, they still bring up Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. So that's ridiculous right there. That's a ridiculous claim. A lot of the stuff coming from these Devin Haney fans that I'm hearing trickle over to your page and things like that, it just sounds very delusional to me.
Man,
it's delusional, man.
It's blood, no joke, bro. Man to man, it is amazing, bro. And they will change their tune in a heartbeat. Teofimo Lopez was supposed to fight Devin Haney instead of his mandatory. Devin's not the champion. Devin's not even the mandatory. But Teofimo Lopez is supposed to fight Devin Haney and not his mandatory. But Devin doesn't have to fight his mandatory. But when Devin has a mandatory, a fight that is literally ordered, and this is how crazy it is. The negotiation, this 25% thing, the man says, hey, by the way, hey, Big Dog Willie in the building. Let me bring Big Dog Willie up real quick. What's up, Big Dog Willie?
Yeah, what's up, Blood? What's up, Fanon?
What's up, bro?
Yeah, so it's not just Keith Thurman is now on their lips now, is who's the next potential duck. That's next. Just let you know that. So I'm gonna get off.
Keith Thurman's ducking him?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing right now.
Keith
But I'm gonna get off. I just want to bring that up.
Keith Thurman, who hasn't fought in several years, who's an old guy who's been inactive for so damn long.
And
that sounds ridiculous, man.
But watch this. Listen, blood. Look how fundamental it is. And Devin's not in the weight class. And Devin's got a fight in a week.
That's ridiculous.
How could he possibly be ducking him?
It's retarded.
How could he possibly be ducking him?
It's retarded, man. It's retarded. And to the guy in the chat who said something about for non-stop blood on his overstatement, as far as Ryan Garcia ducking Devin Haney. Listen, man, this Devin Haney stuff is extreme, bro, right? You're trying to pick out on one little thing, man. This stuff is over the top. These fight fans are over the top. Somebody in the comment section said that for you to stop me because I made an overstatement or something. Let me see if I can find that comment.
I ain't stopping shit. What overstatement?
It's frequent flyer.
Oh, no, he's a Devin. He's the ultimate Devin Haney troll. Just ignore him.
Oh, okay, because he says, Fanon, stop blood for his overstatement. He said nobody ever ducked Haney, but even you acknowledge Ryan ducking him. Be fair, Fanon.
Be fair for what? Why do I have to? You want me to correct everything that anybody says, bro? It's already enough drama to be correct. First of all, I'm not correcting Blood because Blood has a reputation. Let me tell you the difference, brother. If I knew Blood Boxing was up here lying, then I would trust me. I would connect. I'd correct everything clicking.
Yeah.
But since I know he's not lying, there's no need to do it. The only time that I'm going to start doing that to somebody is when they, like I said, Blood is writing a nonfiction book. I like that what you said, Rollo. Blood is telling a nonfiction story. He's a historian. He's telling you what it is. You all are making up. You guys are out there and writing a fucking Harry Potter book out here. Okay? You're out here thinking, putting a fucking scar and glasses on Devin Haney and literally acting like this man is in his own alternate reality where everybody else has to walk down the street, but he can hop on a broom and fly. Okay? You guys are bad. You guys are fucking and I'm telling you, Blood, hey, Deem, if you can get up here, please get up here. And if you can, and Claymore Rain, if you can get up here, please get up here because Ray Davis has been sitting here thinking you guys are going to come back on, and I had forgot to say something. So there's no need to correct Blood because Blood will correct me. Because if I make a misstatement, he can correct me. If he makes a misstatement, I can't, but there's no need because he's not lying. His general point makes sense. Go ahead, though, brother. But he's just trolling. Go ahead, Blood. You're on mute. Blood, you're on mute.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, but like I said, man, these Devin Haney fans, and plus, number one, I don't really keep up too much with who's ducking who and how this kind of stuff went down. All I want to see is the best fighters fight the best, right? Devin Haney, you guys are over the top with this Devin Haney stuff. There's been a lot of things that have been said that are lies, such as Devin Haney being the face of boxing. He can't be the face of boxing. I wouldn't even call Tank Davis the face of boxing, and we already know who's way more popular between Tank Davis and Devin Haney. And then all this stuff about people ducking Devin Haney doesn't make any sense. If anyone had an opportunity to get them belts, they would be glad to take them, especially from Devin Haney. Devin Haney's not a threat to anybody. He doesn't sell fights. His personality is he doesn't really have one. He wants to be another Floyd Mayweather. He just can't do that either. He's not even good at that. You know, he doesn't sell, man. Point blank, period. He can't even sell out in his own hometown. I don't believe none of that stuff about him selling out stadiums and stuff like that. There was still tickets available in his hometown. I saw Fanon pull up the stadium, and there was tickets all over the place. 8 in a row, Fanon said, right? You could get 8 in a row tickets, and this guy can't even do this in his hometown. And what would help him is for him to go out there and deliver some knockouts like a young fighter is supposed to do. You're not a 35, 36-year-old man. You're a young fighter. You got to deliver some kind of knockouts. At least Shakur Stevenson, yeah, he had a stinker, but we've seen him stop guys before and put on better performances than he did. Everybody's allowed to have a stinker here and there, but Devin Haney has quite a few of those. And I still give him credit for what he did against Lomachenko. I thought he fought a pretty good fight. But Devin Haney is just not that. He's not the business like y'all think he is. You guys around here talking about he ducking Keith Thurman and Gary Russell, guys in different weight classes and stuff. That's why you guys need to knowledge up on your boxing. You got to knowledge up.
And sometimes we just need to kick people out because this is what they do is they're doing copycat. They do copycat. Like they do copycat promotions. Like there was something that Shakur Stevenson, this is something that I've noticed about that camp. They anything that's hot, they copy it. So like when Arrow was coming up, the thing with Arrow is that he was the boogeyman. Because, you know, Thurman wouldn't fight him. Porter wouldn't fight him. Garcia wouldn't fight him. All of that, right? Mm-hmm. All they did when Devin came up is just do the same thing that led to Arrow being popular. They tried to do with Devin. Everybody was ducking Devin for the first 5 years of his career for any cockamamie reason. If he said he wanted to fight you and you wouldn't fight him the next afternoon, it was a duck. So that's what they did. And like the last thing that I heard, and they come by the chats and they will go into chats and they just inundate your chats with comments. But the thing that really like made me sit back and was like, okay, wow, bro. He was talking to Regis Progress. I see you guys. I'm gonna let you guys all up real quick. Lottie. Oh, let me say this, and I'm gonna let Lottie, and then Amir, and then I'm gonna let Deem and Ray Davis jump up at the same time, and then after that, that's probably gonna be about it. He was sitting next to. Oh, there was something that was said by Shakur Stevenson about Gervonta Davis. I don't know if you remember this, but if any of you guys remember this, remember this. Just remember, acknowledge that you remember this. Shakur said about Gervonta that if you need to knock me out to win, you don't have a chance. If you need to knock me out to win, you don't need a chance. You don't have a chance. That's what he said. That's what Shakur said about Gervonta. And then in the last interview I heard when Devin Haney was talking to Regis Prograis, he literally said the exact same thing. If you need to knock anybody that's going to knock anybody that needs to knock me out to win, already lost. Like that's what they said. That's what Shakur said, and that's exactly what Devin Haney said. Shakur 7, that can be no, it's true. It's true that he bit that shit, bro. Ray Davis said you got a troll backstage. Amir said, you and Blood are fudge packers. Okay, thank you, Amir. I appreciate you, man.
Well, bring your ass on here, Amir, and let's hear what you're talking about.
No, he's talking about his mama's. He talking about his mama's fudge, bro. He's talking about his mama's fudge. Don't worry about it. Now, if I put him on here, he's gonna try to show his private part or something. That's what it is. I didn't pay attention. I didn't pay attention to any of that stuff that he said in the back. I wasn't even looking. Ray Davis told me to look at it. I don't know, dog. If somebody, man, that shit is gonna disappear as soon. I didn't even notice it, bro. Don't remind me of that. But Ray Davis
about white pride, brother.
Yeah, like white power, man. Yeah, white power, bro. Whatever. Like you need to say white power. White people already got the power. What fucking stupid shit is that? What's going on, Lottie?
Not much. I hit you up through Cash App.
Yes, you did. He said, "Yo was on the phone. Things got to handle." Thank you, brother. Much love. Thank you so much for your
currently at work, so I'm just gonna get it off. Like I don't know what's wrong with these boys and the Devin Haney fans specifically. I don't know why y'all bring up this housewives of drama and all this with the ducking. If somebody don't fight him, he a duck, this and that. I don't get it. I never understood it. I just like watching fights. But I gotta ask, Fanon, are you gonna cover Nadia Inoue versus Marlon Tapales?
Am I gonna cover the fight? Like watch the fight or talk about it? I mean, I'll talk about it on this, but I mean, Masa Inoue is a very good fighter. We'll probably cover on on this show on Sundays, but am I gonna and then because it's gonna happen in the morning, we'll talk about it like the morning of the fight, like right after it happens. But it's a Japanese fight, it's a fight in Japan, so it's gonna be on at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's one of the, hey, what's going on, Nunito and Rachel? So so that's what you want. You want to talk about that? We can talk about it now if you want to.
I got shit I gotta do. Gotta get to this, this house and get this shit fixed up. So
okay, bro.
Yeah, but I'll definitely tune in once that happens.
All right, brother. Get back with you, sir. Deuces.
All right, for real.
We're definitely gonna cover that fight.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all. Ray and Dean. Last callers, and we're gonna let everybody enjoy their about 15 more minutes, and we're gonna let everybody enjoy their day.
Hey, what's the deal, fellas? Y'all all right?
Hey, Dean, what's up, my brother? I was just touching base on you and Claymore because I had a conversation with Claymore on the phone this morning, and I know we talked yesterday, and I was just saying that I supported some of your statements that you were talking about this afternoon over here, and I see where you were coming from. That's pretty much it. As far as I just want to touch base on this too. As far as the extremists of Devin Haney, I'm going to say extremists. Stop listening to every single thing. You guys are making it like y'all believe in Santa. Like for real. I'm keeping it 100. I am a supporter of Devin Haney, and if anybody in this channel does not know that, I do not go out there throwing things out there that are fictional. I bring facts. Now, there are arguments to be made on those facts, whether it be non-side, blood side, Deem side, or whatever, and we can have that argument. Even my brother, salute to him, Krista Trucker and Zenith.
Hey, but just to say, brother, I don't listen to that shit. So
No,
this
I
is
got
all
you.
news to me. I don't listen to Extreme Fans at all. I've had enough experience with them.
Yeah, I got you, blood. I was just stating the facts that, you're hearing it for the first time and your reactions. I try to sit there and split it down the middle. I think a lot of times I try to stay as down the middle as possible. I try to say relevant things. And if I don't, I get corrected and I accept it because certain things, we don't know everything. And, if we think we know everything, we're already wrong. So in that notion, I try to be there and let everybody know what the real is. Now, like I said and stated earlier, Devin Haney is a great talent. I support him because of his talent. I also support Tank. Do I think they ducked each other? And I'm really tired of this conversation too. Do I think they ducked each other or Tank ducked Devin? No. Do I think a lot of people ducked Devin? No. It was just circumstances. And whatever the circumstances were, that's what they were. But just because someone says something or someone presents it on another page or in the media or Twitter, y'all can't just run with those narratives because you're only embarrassing Devin. You're really embarrassing him. And if you're really a fan of Devin or an extreme fan, y'all got to stop pushing those narratives. I mean, it reminds me of another fighter that we had, I think, last year when we were pushing narratives and this and that. And there was all types of soup in the water. And they're talking about Avenesian this, Avenesian that. Y'all know who I'm talking about now, right? And we did that same thing. And it was extremists, it was loyal fans, and it was a friendly fan base. Stay. If you can't bring topics, like you can't dance around and then talk about people's moving weight draining. The man was 130, Rollo. He was never weight drained. Tank went down in weight. You can't weight drain a guy that's smaller than you. Let's start there. But at the same time, man, it's really becoming a bad nuisance and a bad check off of Devin. I'm telling you, stop listening to everything you hear. Bill is a salesman. The boy will sell you a 1978 Sterling off a new car lot because he knows how to present things. Whether it's true or not, he sells sugar to a person with rotten teeth because he can. He knows what it is. He's a hustler. That's what he's doing. So read between the lines on a lot of this stuff. I'm not telling you that, there's no truth to some of the stuff he's saying. The fact is y'all drain it out and all you do is just create worse situation for you. Okay, as far as T.O. and Devin, only opportunity that you can even, and for now, please, I'm just going to ask you, don't jump in, I'm just using an example here. Only opportunity you can use for T.O. ever ducking Devin was in that tournament, but he chose to go another way because he said he's not fighting more fights for one title. He said that. So whether that be factual or not.
But hold on, let's do that for a second. But then we got to drop this Devin shit because seriously, it's fucking
please.
Because this is like completely hijacked Ryan Garcia and what he could be doing. It's completely hijacked the shit, which is what continually happens. You can't. He fought Richard Comey for a belt. You can't. It's not duck and see. You can't duck Devin Haney when Devin Haney was supposed to be fighting Abdulov, and they wanted Teofimo Lopez to fight somebody else whose name I don't recall. Teo decides not to fight somebody else so that he can be in a tournament, but fights for the IBF belt instead. He would be the only person in the world to duck a contender for fighting for a major championship belt.
Yes. And
but,
like
but Dean, let me get a couple of these. Give me real quick, man. Big Dog Willie said the Haney cult is most brainwashed fans in boxing. Ray Davis said, Rollo, your arguments are all over and confusing. That's because he's trying to confuse you. And wow, Devin Haney fans, and I'm a Cowboys fan. Yeah. All right. So Dean, Dean, you guys, if you guys want to talk about anything other than Devin Haney, I gotta kill the Devin Haney conversation.
For now, I was coming up here. I was just funny. All of that happened, but I bring this up to you all the time, Fanon, and I ain't lying. Blood, no, I ain't lying. They not Devin Haney fans. They Tank haters. I'm gonna say this, and you keep putting the guy in a bad situation when he does 100,000, 75,000 pay-per-view buys, then you understand. And I guarantee 90% of those people that have supported Devin Haney and bought those pay-per-views, they also bought Tank Davis fight. This whole thing, I'm glad Fanon said that it hijacked what we was even talking about. We was talking about Ryan Garcia.
Yes,
And
sir.
somehow it got on to Tank Davis because they want to discredit everything everybody else is doing in boxing. Y'all complained about Shakur Stevenson not giving you a good performance. Ryan gave you an exciting performance. Y'all complain about talking about people get hit and all this, that, and the third. Like Devin Haney didn't just get us sit up there and get hit by Lomachenko 1,000 times. So, like I said, man, when we was talking about Fanon, is Ryan Garcia is going to be a problem for anybody at 140. I think Sabril Matias is the best up there because I think he has the best game plan, the most consistent in a way he's going to approach you in the mindset. That matters. But Ryan Garcia, to act like Ryan Garcia doesn't have the talent, like he's not the most talented guy there, I know boxing. And like I said, the guy Rallo, this is third time coming up here and trying to address me after I got off. I do know a little something about boxing. I was trained by a world professional kickboxer, former champion. I come from Philadelphia. That's what you do here. You don't have no choice but to learn how to fight here. It's either step on or get stepped over. It's just simple as that. But Ryan Garcia, he has a lot of talent. And to act like that doesn't exist. His speed, his power, his twitchiness, his muscle memory. When he hit Oscar Duarte, that Ryan didn't even know he was going to do that. He just threw it out there and he hit him. The same thing Deontay Wilder does. So to try to act like, but people will support Deontay and not realize what you're saying with Ryan. He has that same ability to hit you at any point of this fight and change it drastically. If you don't respect what, just don't lose the respect of boxing. Ryan Garcia is a declarated amateur. Ryan Garcia has done this multiple occasions, have given more exciting fights than the other guys y'all say he ducking. That's just the truth. When I was sitting up there talking about Teofimo not having one punch knockout power, I wasn't saying that to demean Teofimo. I think Teofimo would beat Ryan. I was just giving the fact is he hasn't had a knockout since 2019. Ryan actually puts people to bed. One punch, he's down, Bambi legs. You got to count for that when you're talking about boxing. If you think that these guys are just going to walk through Ryan and get him out of here in the third round, that is not going to happen.
You got anything on that, Blood? Or Ray? Actually, Ray, you got anything on that? Because
yeah, no, it's cool. I was actually just going there to where Dean was going. Again, we seen what Ryan was, like I said, he was bought and tested. He was put against a great strong fighter. Derek James purposely selected him due to the fact that he wanted him to test himself or recommended him fight him, I should say, because he wanted to test the waters against him fighting somebody with some power to get Ryan's head back into the game, because Ryan's not going to understand, and this is coming off a loss, how to overcome his adversities until he starts feeling things that he probably in fear of. Because when you lose to something, that starts crawling into your back of your mind, and you start fearing certain things. So now with Ryan doing that, he now became aware of what he has to do. He has learned to and like I said, it took him a while to adjust, to get back into the field things. And when he did, he started showing resilience, and he started finding locations. He started listening to his coach. And when he started listening to his coach, he got out of the funny things and things that we weren't used to, and he got the job done at the end of the day. And that's what we need to pay homage to. The man was out for, I think, since April. So that's what, 9 months, 8 months. And he came back and he showed that, you know what, he's resilient. And that's what we need to pay homage to, and we should be talking about. I don't want to talk about nobody else. If we talk about some Floyd Schofield, because he was in the fight last night, we don't need to be talking about people and potentials when they got fights coming up or they haven't fought in a while. This is what the moment is. We're supporting Ryan right now, or unsupporting him based on what our analysis are. I think he did a great job for what he did and what he had to come through. The fire he walked through at that point. I'm good on that for now.
All right,
Hey,
brother. Hey,
Hey,
Nicole
Fernando.
Matthews, thank you, sister. Thank you, Nicole, for that $5 holler. Thank you. And Deborah Booker said, hey, Fanad, hope you're enjoying your weekend. I am, man. I know you said Ursula's end, but you mean weekend. I am. I'm having a really good time talking boxing. Blood, is there anything that hey, all right, Deem, I'll get back with you, sir.
Hey,
Great.
Fanon, I wanted to say this before I go. I wanted to address earlier. Fanon, I appreciate you. You have let me put my link in the chat. You've let me come up here anytime that I wanted to come up here. When I started my channel and everything, I shouted you out. Every time I get the a mark on subscribers, I shout you out. I'll never turn my back on you, big dog. I appreciate you and everything that you're doing for this boxing community, because you're one of the few people that be talking objective. I can't go through my feed and not see clickbaity stuff or people not really talking about boxing or being biased. So I just want to say I appreciate you, because in my opinion, you already done enough for me. I just enjoy your commentary every day, helping me get better at what I'm doing. So thank you, Fanon. I appreciate you. Blood, keep doing what you're doing. You seen I was over there the other day, man. Keep giving us that insight with boxing and everything. Ray Davis, you already know what's up. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right, bro. Get back, man. Ray, I get back with you, sir. Holler back.
All right.
All right, man. Get back. All right, Blood. Anything else you want to talk about before
let me address somebody in your comment section. Big Tex, you say that my knowledge is weak on boxing.
It's right here. Here's the link.
Pull up.
Yeah, okay, here you go. Perfect. I don't mind. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was about to throw him out for that. Because he's been saying, I don't think he's serious. He's probably one of these dudes about to show something. Man, hopefully he doesn't do something silly. But there's a lot of Big Tex. You gonna hit that link, man? Because honestly, man, I don't think you're. I doubt very much.
I know about boxing in every decade from 1890 on to now. I could talk about the science with you. Come on. Let's see how much you know. Come on right now.
Yeah, because I'll definitely start the car. I know my weak spot with you, Blood. God dog. Them god dang 80s.
Because I'm going to test you, Big Tex. Come on up here. You tell me I'm weak in boxing. Come on up here right now.
Your biologist. Yeah, it is. Whatever, bro. These dudes don't know nothing. Let Frequent Flyer. Oh my God, Frequent Flyer. Hey, go ahead, Frequent Flyer. You can jump on and talk, Blood. I don't mind, man. We'll go a little bit longer, man. I know somebody might enjoy that. I'm just know tomorrow you're going to be telling the same stories. Man, bro. Make him show his face first. Oh, yeah, I tried, but it is what it is. So annoying to have to do that to people. But yeah, you got to show me your face or something. Dude is an authority. Oh, Blood is definitely an authority, bro. But Blood does boxing documentaries. It's retro boxing and documentaries. Dog knows this boxing, man. But the thing is that he knows this Frequent Flyer. It's probably fucking Frequent Flyer. Yes, Frequent Flyer.
Salute. What's up, Blood?
That's my salute.
What's up? Where's this Big Tex guy at, though, man?
Big Tex ain't coming up here, man.
He forfeited.
He said, I don't know boxing. I got some questions, some simple questions for you. And for
ask him a Frequent Flyer.
We can see who'll win that, too.
Frequent Flyer said he forfeited. So Frequent Flyer wants to do it with you. Go ahead, Blood. Ask Frequent Flyer some questions.
I got questions too.
You don't get no questions, Frequent Flyer.
I got questions too. Know me, right, Fanad?
You don't get no questions. You said Big Tex didn't show up. You're taking his place, and his job was to receive questions, not
what kind of talking.
We know you can ask some dumbass questions. Your job is to answer questions, Frequent Flyer.
But we got the.
And what is the first question, Blood Boxing?
Okay, well, you know what?
Come on, Fanad.
He didn't really say that I had no knowledge on boxing. It was Big Tex, so I don't really have the animosity for this Frequent Flyer guy. But I can tell you right now, Frequent Flyer, I can tell you right now, I don't know about the ducking and all of that stuff and who ducked who and all of that, right? That don't have nothing to do with knowledge of boxing.
If you got good knowledge on boxing, then you're going to prove my point, is what I'm saying. If you got good knowledge of boxing.
Okay.
Blood. He ain't. Let me ask you a question, Blood. Since you want to do it anyway, I'm answering the question. Blood.
Yes.
Can you duck somebody? Can you duck a mandatory if you fight a unification fight?
No. Unification trumps mandatory, which I was the first one who brought that up on YouTube altogether.
Thank you, sir.
That wasn't my question.
That was my question.
Go
ahead, let him ask a question. Let me see what Frequent Flyer got for me.
Okay, yeah. So I want to ask you about the franchise belt and the WBA super belt. Do you see that as the same thing?
No,
Do you see that those two as the same?
I don't see those two as the same thing. The WBC, they brought the franchise belt 20 years after the WBA brought in the super belt. As Fanon said, I believe that the super belt was brought into play, strictly so after the Lennox Lewis. Was it John Ruiz, the opponent, Fanon?
I don't recall, man. I don't think
it was John Ruiz.
Probably
right?
Somebody he didn't want to fight.
He didn't want to fight John Ruiz, and I guess he went and he made a plea to the WBA to, hey, let's have something in place so we could fight or unify and do all of that kind of stuff. The franchise belt was brought in under different terms, and then they did different things with the franchise belt. They automatically placed people into these franchise championship roles. I think it was Canelo Alvarez and a couple of other guys, but I don't see them as exactly the same thing.
It wasn't automatic though. Those guys petitioned for it though.
But they had to fight. Did they have to fight? When they elevated into that?
They ducked. That's what happened. They ducked.
Stop.
Okay, see, here he goes with that ducking stuff. This is all.
Yeah, so let me prove it.
There's a whole bunch of stuff that I don't get into.
Blood, excuse me for a second. I want to ask you a question. As far as the rules of the WBA and how the WBA rules are, how the WBA franchise belt works and how the WBA super belts works, how it works. Because you're a very specific person. We know they're not the same thing.
Right.
You meant to say WBC. You said W.
Do you know how they operate? The similarities in how they operate?
I think the similarities have something to do with they don't have to fight mandatories. That's the similarity right there that they have. The WBC, I think they had all kind of rules. The WBC, when they came into play with this franchise belt, they had kind of rules put in place to where you don't have to put it on the line. And if you lose, you still get to keep the belt and all kinds of stuff. So there are some different rules.
No, the franchise belt. No, the franchise. See, let me tell you, I would say, Blood, that this is not an area that you really paid a lot of attention to.
I didn't pay a lot of attention to it, no.
So this is not the scenario, Frequent Flyer, where you can ask
that's
Blood.
The cop-out, man.
It's not a cop-out, sir. It's not a cop-out. It's not.
It is. If you know the history, you know the
cop-out because it's not a cop-out.
But you know what? I did talk about this before, and I did at one time know, because I did a video on it, the difference between
let me tell you what he's trying to do, bro. Okay, so because he's gonna try to
let me say what I'm trying to do. Don't talk for me.
I'm not going to let you do shit. I already told you, bro. I'm trying to get off this chat. I ain't got time for this bullshit. Okay, I don't have time for the bullshit. You do the bullshit every day. We've been through this conversation 100 times. The reason the conversation was brought up was because people said that Devin Haney, that Teofimo Lopez is not the undisputed champion because Teofimo Lopez had the franchise belt. And I said, well, if that's true, that Teofimo Lopez can't be the undisputed champion because he has the franchise belt, then Devin Haney can't be the undisputed champion because he has the WBA super belt. Because for the sake of this conversation, they do the same thing. The WBA super belt was given to Lomachenko after the Jorge Linares fight, which is why I brought that up. Lomachenko did not fight and win that super champion in the ring. He won the WBA World Traditional Belt in the ring. And then the WBA elevated him to the super champion. The same thing happened with the same person, Lomachenko, with the WBC. It's the same person that they did, the two sanctioning bodies did the same thing with. And I can show you. The WBA gave Lomachenko the WBA super title. He did not, that fight was not in, that belt, that title was not in existence until after
I never
the fight.
argued that.
Dude,
I agree.
No, you don't agree, bro. Stop.
I agree with that. I do.
You say you agree with it, and then you disagree 3 seconds later. The belt, and you got me, get out of here, dog. You got me talking about Devin Haney. Get out. Anyway, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I forgot. He's sucking me back into a Devin Haney conversation.
Pull him back up. Let me ask him some question now. Come on back up here.
Oh, God, he's such a head. Come on, frequent flyer. You can come on back.
Come on.
Dog boxing my ass. You pulled the shit back into Devin Haney.
What kind of fight fan I'm talking to here. Come on back on.
Go ahead, frequent flyer. Then we got 10 more minutes, man. God dog, man.
It's the kind of fight fan I'm talking to right here.
We know he's good with everything else. Everything but Devin.
I want to find out if he knows some simple stuff about boxing.
All right, frequent flyer. He's willing to ask you some questions now. Watch what he does.
My turn.
Fanon, stop ducking the 25%. Stop ducking your mandatory, man.
Frequent flyer, you into this ducking stuff that I'm not really into none of that stuff. Okay, so
that's not really what I was trying to prove. I was just talking about the Canelo thing with the franchise belt. I was just trying to prove that the franchise belt was created for something different than what y'all try to say it is for, like unifications. It wasn't
created for the same damn thing, so that somebody
Canelo was not unifying.
Excuse me,
Canelo was not unifying. He was ducking.
Let me ask Blood the question then. Blood, wasn't the WBA created so that the WBA wasn't the WBA Super Championship created so that that guy wouldn't have to fight a mandatory?
Yes.
So in the WBA, in the WBC, wasn't it also created, the franchise belt also created so you didn't have to fight a mandatory?
Yes.
There you go, frequent flyer.
So it seems like frequent flyer, you don't really
I said
know.
Unification.
You're asking
I said unification.
You just changed it. You just said it was created to not fight a mandatory. Then I took what you said. I asked Blood what you said.
So now you're changing it.
You said both. I'm so sick of the bullshit, man. You said to Blood. You said it to him. Wasn't the WBC franchise proved not to fight a mandatory? And that's why I said I got your ass, because they both were. Now you say it's for unification. Now you want to change it from, oh, I didn't say was it both created to not fight a mandatory. It was created for unification. I got you there too, because if it was both created for unification, then it's for undisputed because it's fucking created for unifications.
See, what y'all do is y'all keep cutting the other.
Answer the questions. Because I talked to you all week about this shit, man.
Oh, you never let the other person get their point off. You cut them off.
You do this all damn week long. Blood, this is new to Blood. I literally do this shit with you at least 10 hours. I do this shit at least 9 hours a week with you, man. I'm like 9 hours a week of you doing the same shit.
Blood will never understand if you never let him hear what I'm saying. You cut me off so much that he never hears it. Nobody ever hears it because you cut it off before it gets to the point. You cut me off before I get to the point every time.
How much do you know about the sanctioning bodies altogether? Where did the WBA come from?
Let me finish what I was trying to say first. What I was trying to say is I was saying that the WBA and the
He asked you a question. I'm muting you if you don't answer his question.
Where did the
I guess I'm gonna have to be muted.
Because you're not gonna answer his question.
You won't let him answer my question.
He's asking you questions. You're not asking him questions. He's asking you questions.
He said go ahead and ask your question, and then you cut me off. You don't want me to get the question out. Let him answer it. You gotta be fair. All of the conversations.
I said there was some similarities between the WBA Super and the franchise belt. Do I know every particular? Absolutely not right now. I can't
But you know what I was trying to bring to a.
So your answer was questioned. He said he doesn't know. That's the answer to the damn question.
Now, I just want to see,
gave you the
you're so
similarities.
big on this WBA thing, where did the
We're
WBA
gonna move
come
to the next
from?
question, bro. Blood, I'm telling you, this is what he does all the time. Frequent
Where
flyer.
did the WBA come from, frequent flyer?
I never even got to the question.
That was the question. You don't get 10 questions. You said, what's the similarities between them? He said there's some similarities that he can name, and he doesn't know all of them. That's the answer to your question. Now we're going to try this one more time, frequent flyer. Ask a question. Put it in your mind and ask the question. One question.
Okay, I could ask one question, but that question.
One question. I didn't ask the but. What? Ask the one question. Write it down right now. Think of it. And then ask the question. Don't go into long speech.
That question you just said, I didn't say.
Ask the question. You're being dishonest. All you got to do is ask the question. What is the question you have? Ask a question.
Damn.
The question is, when the WBC franchise belt was created for Canelo, was it?
That is a statement.
Ask
a question.
You're cutting me off. I can't even finish.
It is. Because as soon as you go off into some shit, I'm cutting you off, bro, because I got shit to do.
When the WBC franchise belt was created for Canelo, was it created in order for him to unify belts, or was it created for him to duck a mandatory?
And/or.
Different people had.
No, excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
I do remember that whole
Hey,
thing,
Blood,
right?
real quick. I have to adjust that loaded question he asked. What Frequent Flyer asked, and I'm going to state this clearly because I'm playing moderator here. Frequent Flyer said, when the WBC created the franchise belt for Canelo Alvarez, was it created for unification or to duck a mandatory? I would like to rephrase that because that is a loaded question. Because there's another option. And.
Okay, I can change it for you if you want me to. If you want to
know. And or you've asked your question. I just fixed it for you. He asked.
Let me ask it.
From fans like you. You would say it was created to duck.
I said
it's and or. I'm just telling you, Blood, there's three options there. Blood, there's three options, not two that he named. They could have did it so that it could be unified, so that they could go for unification. They could have done it so that they wouldn't have to fight a mandatory, or they could have done both.
Yeah, well,
both is an option.
I think both options were outlined, right? But the whole thing with ducking, the sanctioning body, the WBC, never brought up ducking as their reason. That's a fan thing right there. That's your opinion, right? Now I'm asking you.
You didn't answer the question. You didn't answer the question. You just danced.
He very clearly answered the question. He said that he thinks it's both, but ducking is something you brought up, and he distinctly said not ducking because that's something that fans say. So he said no to ducking, but yes for unification and yes for no mandatory. Exactly. That was the answer to his question. So please don't play dumb, Mr. Play Dumb. And now it's your turn to answer a question. I'm the moderator. I got the answer. I can repeat the answer to it that he answered to that question.
Where does the WBA come from, brother?
You can't answer. You can't answer a question with both answers.
This guy's joking around, man.
See, that's why I'm telling you, Blood. I be putting it back,
bro.
Because he asked this bullshit question. He asked this loaded question and gives you a false choice.
No, because it leaves the
what is the answer? He has already answered it. You don't get a choice on whether you like his answer or not. He answered it.
Okay, so you don't know the answer to that question that came from the
No,
NBA.
he didn't even try to answer
something else then.
Blood, let's do this. Watch this. I'm telling you, because this is what he's going to do. He's going to come with another question. Blood asked you, where did the WBA come from? Frequent flyer, that's the question posed to you.
Where did it come from?
You forgot you put me on mute.
You're talking right now.
Did you go to Google yet and figure it out, or what?
What you say?
Where did the WBA come from, frequent flyer?
The WBA super title?
Where did the World Boxing Association, let me help you.
WBA sanctioning body come from, bro?
Yeah, where did the World Boxing Association, the one that owns both the franchise, the super title and the WBC world title, it is located in Puerto Rico, and the president, I do believe it, is Gilberto Mendoza. Yes. Where did that organization come from? What is its origins? How did it start? I can answer that question.
Well, I don't know how it started. I know it started in Puerto Rico, and it came from Puerto Rico, and the WBC came out of.
I just told you that.
Now you just took my. Hey, you saw Blood? He tried to take my answer and run with that shit.
I can tell you where the rest of them come from. What are you talking about? The WBC comes from is out based in Mexico. The WBA.
Freaking flyer. It came from an organization called the NBA.
The IBF is based in the United States.
The answer to the question is it came from an organization called the National Boxing Association. Right. That's where it came from. And from there, it broke into two parts. The WBC came from the WBA. Okay, the WBC used to be part of the WBA. They broke off. The WBA used to be called the NBA, the National Boxing Association, but they wanted to be more worldly, so they and they didn't want to be confused with the National Basketball Association.
Okay, so let me ask you something.
Okay, so what's
are you
the
a black man, or are you Puerto Rican or Mexican? What's going on?
Pure
black,
right? I'm a black man, but you had your question. It's my turn again.
No, okay, it's my turn. I'm handing out these questions, dog, not you. This is my shit right here. This is my shit right here.
It's bad enough y'all double teaming me. At least let me talk.
I'm not double teaming you, bro. You're slippery as a snake, dog.
Who was the first black champion? Just ask that question. Answer that.
Can you just ask me a question? Just let me. Let me put this.
First black champion is that should be real easy for a brother who's a fight fan. You know, you a brother. You guys like
that's a hard question, though, Blood. That's a hard question,
bro.
That's a hard question, bro. You know that's a hard question.
Not Jack Johnson. I'm helping you out. It's not
no, I know what you're talking about. Oh, him. Who's the first black fight? I'll give you two answers. You can argue it's two. You can argue two.
Yeah.
Really, you could argue two of them. Which one do you count? But who is the frequent flyer?
I don't know, but I know the WBC was not created to unify because Canelo was not unifying. Canelo was ducking. You can't say it was for unification. You can't. So that's why you can't say both, because that answer was wrong. He said both.
I want that Big Tex guy. Big Tex.
Canelo was not unifying, man. Canelo was not unifying. That's all.
Big Tex, I want you, man. Come on up here.
Yeah. I don't know who Big Texas was, but I just came up here to say that. Who this?
I'm the
Rachel,
worst
what's
person. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly fine.
Okay. The WBC franchise doesn't just go to anyone, and it's not if and or buts or whatever you guys are arguing, frequent flyer, because it's based on the accomplishments of the individual boxer alone. What I'm saying is if there's a C-level fighter who just so happens to get a WBC, he doesn't automatically get franchise status just because he petitioned for it. He has to have a decent amount of accomplishments. It has to go through the board with a 2/3 vote. And it's to bestow the elite of what they've done in their career.
Facts.
No, please, Rachel, can I ask you a question?
I'll tell you if I know the answer, but sure.
Well, of course you know the answer because this is. And if Nonito was around, I would have loved to ask Nonito this question.
He was just here. He'll come back in the room. But you went
That's
to
okay.
get coffee.
Don't worry about it, because first I'd like to talk to frequent flyer and say, frequent flyer, understand. Look who I'm going to ask a question to. Have you ever, Rachel, ever met anybody that was fought in a unification fight?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like you're fairly familiar with what a duck is?
Oh, we don't like that word.
Why don't you like that word?
Because the only reason that we believe that someone's going to duck is if they're going to say like, hey, I don't want to fight that guy. I don't have any interest. He's too dangerous for me or whatever. But as we all know, there's way too many moving parts as far as a boxer's career.
Well, let me make it very simple for you. Let me
Yeah, I
give
don't
you a
like
very.
ducks either.
Hey, bro, you're
Me
not
too.
allowed to talk with Nate. You're not allowed to talk with Rachel on here. You're not. We're not doing that. Okay. She is, and I'm going to tell you why. Because this is a Hall of Fame level boxing manager, and her husband is a Hall of Fame boxer. We're not playing bullshit. Okay. So tuck it, frequent fire. Tuck it. Okay. Because you're not going to try to manipulate her into saying something that's going to make Nonito look bad, make herself look bad. None of it. We can play games, but you're not playing games with them. And I'm being dead serious about it. If you try to manipulate her into saying something, bro, if you try to manipulate her in any way, shape, or form, fashion, I'm immediately stopping it.
Understood.
Because this is her job it's her job for real. It's her job for real. Real life, no bullshit. Her job for real. Okay, so I'm going to ask questions to clarify this. Rachel, have you ever heard the notion that a unification trumps a mandatory?
Yes.
Can you duck your mandatory if you fight a unification fight with another champ?
No.
You said yes or no? I'm sorry, that wasn't clear.
No.
Okay, so also, if you have a mandatory, and if you have a mandatory that you need to fight, and you have a voluntary, people that people want you to fight, can you duck a voluntary, a non-championship, non-unification voluntary for a mandatory? Is that a duck if you have a mandatory and you don't fight a non-championship voluntary?
Hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to say. So,
I'm trying to say Nonito has.
is the mandatory called? But is the mandatory called, or is he just placed?
It is called.
Okay, it's called.
They tell you, the IBF tells you, you must fight this guy. You have 30 days, whatever it is, to get this negotiated, or we're going to go to purse bid. And a matter of fact, we know if you stop the negotiation, we're going to go to purse bid. So you were being very specific with it by saying, did they call the mandatory? The specific conversation we're talking about is this. Devin Haney is a WBC world champion. Teofimo Lopez is the WBC franchise champion. The IBF orders him to fight George Kambosos. And he will get stripped if he doesn't fight George Kambosos. Is he ducking Devin Haney by fighting George Kambosos for that mandatory shot when the WBC has not ordered him to fight Devin Haney for the WBC?
No, if the WBC hasn't ordered it, no. The only way you can get a mandatory to step aside is to request it from the sanctioning body. In addition to, you're going to have to pay a step aside fee to the fighter. But the organization has to be involved in that negotiation and know that move to be able to approve the step aside. But that's what step aside fees are for. It's crazy that, a lot of, was it Stanionis, I feel like? He kept getting step asides. Like, he's just making money off of stepping aside.
Exactly. And the last question, Rachel. If you were the mandatory challenger, if your team was a mandatory challenger for a who's at 130? Oh, just say you were mandatory for Monster in a way.
Okay.
And your mandatory is 30% of the purse. Would you take the fight for 25%?
If you're okay, are we talking about in the exact position he is in right now with 2 belts?
I'm literally saying that you have a mandatory title shot that will get forced for that fight, would you take less than the mandatory purse bid?
Take less than the mandatory purse bid? No.
Why wouldn't
Why
you do
would
that?
you?
Why wouldn't you
Why?
do it? For the opportunity to fight, for the glory.
But the belts already said what you're supposed to make at the minimum.
Yeah, I know, but but frequent Flyers having a hard time with that, because if you can get, why would Shakur Stevenson ask for petition the WBC for 30% when Devin already offered him 25?
That whole game is that's a little bit of a longer game. So if we're talking about Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, let me walk this down for you. And I did an Excel spreadsheet. It's on, dude. I got asked this question so many times. I did 2 working Excel spreadsheets, and you could plug in the numbers. Basically, the way that I did it, because here's the game, the little tickler that people keep forgetting. What was the most amount that anyone has ever paid for that, for as far as the WBC sanctioning body within that belt? So when you look at Kambosos versus Teofimo, I believe the bid for Triller was like 5 or 6 million. Top Rank only bidded 2 point something, so did Matchroom, right? So they outbid those two. And the highest bid was 6, or 5 or 6, and they never completed the fight, right? So you're playing a game on people want to if you want to talk low ball, the bid process is going to be super low, and you're going to have to live with it, or you vacate your position. So 25% of what? 25% of, let's talk about the 6 million, you're screwed. Or 30% of the 6 million versus the 25% of Devin Haney offer, quote unquote, with 400,000 buys at, let's just say, let's keep it at 25%.
No, bro.
Plus all the other stuff.
Pay-per-view. They're not. No, that Bill Haney was on my channel. He wasn't getting no pay-per-view. He's getting 50. He said no pay. He said no, because that's what he said. He said he didn't get that from George Kambosos. He said George Kambosos, they gave him what they said that they originally offered George Kambosos was a flat fee and no part of the pay-per-view, because he said that he wanted Shakur to do the same thing. I don't think it was 25. Matter of fact, Bob Arum said the 25 shit wasn't even real, so we don't know what this shit is.
Well, okay. I mean, now we're going left, because if you want to talk about Bob, I think Bob's starting to forget that social media is strength, and the little plays of that Teo got offered 1.5 million and Golden Boy said they never offered it. I think he's fishing his own fighter to see what's the lowest amount that they'll accept, if that makes sense. So he's getting caught in fishing his fighter to see how much is the lowest they'd accept to fight person. And then he brings that offer over to the other side and says, hey, I know he'll take this. Does that make sense?
Well, when you say fishing, you're basically saying he's basically negotiating against his own fighter in the lead-in. And
correct.
What
so
can
they
I
already know.
Because he's negotiating with the manager.
Arum and Golden Boy, he'd be negotiating with the other promoter. So
I'm saying with Shakur, though. I'm saying like with Shakur, Bob Arum would be dealing with his manager, which would be Jay Prince, and
correct.
seeing what the least amount that
they take.
That it would take for him to pay for it. Okay.
Correct.
And then
if Devin's the top promoter, then Shakur would have to pay 20 to 30% promotional fee. Do you know that?
To Devin? Oh, yeah. See, you're going to some level of
That's why I said we're going left.
Yeah, you're going into the extreme not the extreme details of it. You're beyond the sports fan page, back and forth talk, because you're literally pulling out all of the different line items and all the different considerations, which makes sense. However, I don't know. Like I said, it's hard for me to get my I visualize what you're saying in the negotiation process, because you're saying,
let me make it black and white. It's really easy. So if you're talking about the Haneys, because I didn't see Bill say that, but I believe you, and I love the link to that, because people ask me this question, and I'm like, I don't know, because I don't know what 25% of what. So let's just put it this way: 25% of a guaranteed purse. For example, if X cable company came in and said, we're going to pay you guys this much, and then you have to split it accordingly, versus a purse bid. Purse bids are scary as shit. Because the sanctioning body puts a minimum, right, of what the minimum bid has to be. Then you have these promoters that are like, well, shoot, a lot of them talk. They'll know who's going to actually bid against them, or if no one's going to bid. And you've seen a lot of times where these promoters are granted championships fight for $125,000, and the fighters have to split that and suck it up, or, like I said, vacate their position. So it's a purse bid's a huge gamble for a fighter. Huge gamble.
Oh yeah, I got you. That makes sense to me. Yeah, it makes sense. Now, what the thing that can't come to my mind though with that is that Shakur. Well, so it's really hard to call somebody ducking somebody over purse bids and the money is what you, as somebody that represents a fighter, would not call a duck. You call it a financial, like it's a financial problem.
Correct.
Okay. So there you go, frequent flyer. She's saying it's not a duck.
Oh,
Thank you for it.
She had all kind of receipts and stuff.
Receipts, dude.
PowerPoints and everything.
I don't like talking like that. I don't like, because I don't want to keep doing like the math and stuff. And it's going to be interesting because now I'm going to play Bill's conversation and then I'm going to readjust my Excel spreadsheet. But it's just easier because I've done these whiteboard presentations so many times.
I can find what they said, but I can find what he said, but my recollection of it was this. He said that the first thing that Devin and them went to Shakur with was a flat fee with no pay-per-view. And then after that, they went to a percentage. And the percentage, I think he said, was 25. And then, but honestly, this is the take that I get on it. Devin wasn't going to fight Shakur because he wasn't going to be able to make the weight. And he's moving up to 135, and he was negotiating a bunch of fights at the same time to see what he could get the best deal in, and using one negotiation against another guy. So because he was negotiating with three people at the same time. But if he can't make the weight now, and he had to drop all the belts because he said, look, I outgrew the weight class. If he outgrew the weight class in December, he had outgrown the weight class in September. Less, of course, you can, it's 3 months.
Nonito had a conversation with Bill. I think it was summer, or no, it had to have been earlier, like early last year. And they were live. I can't remember where, but Bill asked Nonito, he's like, so if Dev can't make it the weight anymore, what would you say? And Nonito's like, move up. He's like, but we're quote unquote ducking whoever's in our division. He's like, how is it a duck if you can't make the goddamn weight anymore? Like, Dev's a big kid. Sorry, I know he's not a kid, but he's 24. That's a whole, like, pretty much
25.
decade.
He's 25.
Okay, he's not that much younger. Still younger, but yeah. I remember these guys when they're, like, super young, when they first signed, and stuff like that. So they still think that they're kids. But yeah, no, it's funny because you can't, if they can't make the weight, what's going to happen? They're going to get stripped on the scale. Right? Like, nobody wants that. And I think the way that Devin did it is better than the way that Shakur did it. If we remember, Shakur got stripped on a scale. Then he's been clawing his way ever since. If he had kept his title, just one last time, make that damn scale weight and ask for a lateral move into the next division, how Ray Vargas had done it with Oshaki Foster, but still held his position as insurance. And once he got the position straight at the title shot, you can vacate the belt.
No doubt, man. I think you're 100% right about that one. Definitely. Well, look, I'm about to get out of here, Rachel. It's always fun to talk to you. Freaking flyer, you were so polite. Thank you for not doing that to Rachel.
Yeah, indeed. I did have a question, but I really gotta go. So.
Oh, you can ask the question if you can. I mean, go ahead, man. I trust you.
Well, I just was going to ask about. I was going to ask you, what's the lowest percentage that's with the WBO and IBF? Like, what's the lowest they would go for a split? It's 25%, right? Or is it 30%?
WBO. I thought WBO was 75-25 because Casemiro versus Paul Butler was 75-25.
It is.
Yeah, all the other sanctioning bodies is 25% is the lowest that they go. The WBC is the only one that goes to 30, that starts at 30, but at the time they were not mandated to fight. So it was a voluntary at that point. You know, when Devin Haney offered him 25%, so it was, you know, the lowest that the other the majority of the sanctioning bodies would go. And so I don't understand why people say that that was a low ball when the majority of the sanctioning bodies stay 25%.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
But I really gotta go though, Fanon. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. You
I really
snuck it
gotta
in
go.
there. You snuck it
what
in there.
I didn't ask Rachel anything that would get her.
Dog.
It's really hard to get me in trouble, but I appreciate it.
Yeah, I would. I wouldn't want to get you in trouble either. I wouldn't want to get you to say anything about any ducks or any. I wasn't going to ask you anything about.
Now you're starting to run downhill, dog. Okay. Now you're trying to run downhill.
I really got to go though. You know
what they say? Cover your ears, Rachel. Please get Rachel. Cover your
salute
ears.
to everybody. No, okay. I gotta go. For real.
Give a nigga a rope. He want to be a fucking cowboy. Okay.
Y'all have a great weekend. You keeping me on here for now, and I gotta go. I don't want to leave a
damn right, dog, because it ain't in the WBC. All right, y'all. I gotta go, man. Hey, y'all got anything else you want to say, Rachel? Come back next. Hey, Rachel, after the death fight, can you come on set? Can you be on the panel next Sunday?
Yeah, Yeah, that should be fine because you go in the morning anyway.
Yeah,
because we're supposed to fly for the WBA, but I don't think we're flying till Monday. So.
Oh, you're going.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to talk to. No, it's in Florida again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we wanted to talk to you about Ryan's thing, but it's okay.
Talk to me. Okay, I'll stay. What do you want to talk about, Ryan? What do you think about Ryan? No, I'll stay for that. What do you think about Ryan? I will go on for that. I will stay on for that. What do you think about Ryan? Hey, sorry, Ray Davis.
I think Ryan, he showed his holes, right? 100%. That turning back thing, I don't know why the ref, and Nonito was yelling at the ref saying that he should have been called for turning his back.
I was not yelling.
You were yelling.
No, I was not. What's up, Martin?
Oh, what's up, Nonito? You threw me off, brother. What's up, brother? Man?
Salute to Nonito, man.
What's up, brother? How you doing,
bro? What's up? Right.
Oh man, I'm just hanging out, just taking care of the kids in the morning. Ray's not a morning person, so for me, I usually get up in the morning, I run and all that stuff. I'm ready to go. So she takes over half of the other day.
Yes, what's up? So what's your thoughts on Ray? I mean, tell me your guys' thoughts, man. What do you think about Ryan, man? He gonna do some things now or what?
With Ryan, I think he did some stuff that was good. He felt uncomfortable in that fight. The dude coming in and slipping his punches, and the guy had his hands up where Ryan was getting tired. And he felt the pressure, he felt the challenge. But he did a lot of things that was wrong in that fight in terms of shoulder rolling and all of that stuff, because he didn't feel comfortable leaning back like how Floyd would do it, or all the other fighters would do it, which is to lean back and roll with the shoulder only when you see a punch on the right side. But the guy just kept coming in and kept hitting him in the back. But because he would turn his back, he felt uncomfortable being in there. And so he would lean to the right and he would get caught in the back of the head because he was leaning, instead of leaning back and countering off with it, he felt very uncomfortable that he had to lean to the right and the guy was just hitting him in the back of the head. It was all his fault. He would turn to the right, which it's not the right way to do this type of move. You got to lean back, counter off with it, and and he would catch him with the hook if he make the dude miss. But the problem was he felt very uncomfortable that he was leaning to the right, which was easier for the guy to come in.
And
Okay.
he was doing that weird thing with his the jab that Nonito thought he should have gotten called for it.
Yeah, the
What,
stiff
sticking
jab. I mean,
straight arm?
yeah, the stiff arm. He was going out there and doing it for too long. I think that when you do that and you move with it, it's okay. But to put it out there and just kind of push it off and push him off with it, I mean, it was. I thought that would have been called for by the ref.
He did that. Is that different than what Shakur was doing against
I-
De Los Santos?
So Shakur does it too, but he should be called for it too, and he has been called numerous times for doing it. But the thing is, you can paw with your hands, and Shakur started doing that. He would paw, and then he held the stiff arm, and he'll paw again. But with Ryan, he didn't paw; he just put it out there.
Yeah,
He just put it out there and left it out there, which is illegal for it's an illegal move.
Okay. Hey, what was your take on the Shakur fight with Edwin De Los Santos?
He was just too cautious, because the guy can punch, and Shakur didn't do much because of the fact that the guy could hit him with something, and he was fearful of that. I think that was a taste of him being challenged by somebody, as compared to just having everybody outbox. But with Edwin De Los Santos, I mean, he was live, and he could have get caught with something big, and that made Shakur fight the way he did.
Like, I think his range or distance was off in that fight. Like, instead of like De Los Santos coming in with 2 punches and being just out of range for the punch and being able to counter and then getting out, he was like halfway across the room whenever De Los Santos would throw his punches. So there was no counter. He wasn't in that distance to counter. He jumped way far too back.
Well, because De Los Santos was going to punch with him, and you're not about to punch at the same times with a puncher, and I think that's what made Shakur very cautious and unable to use all his strategy, because you got a guy who was willing to get hit to hit something, to land something, and at the same time, he was punching him at the same time, or he tried to do it, and Shakur just didn't feel comfortable doing that.
How you think that bodes for a fight with Shakur and Tank?
I mean, I think that's a good fight. It just opens him up to kind of go a little bit lower than what he think he is, in terms of the way he imposes himself out there in the media. That if you want to make the fight happen, you don't have the call, because like everybody else, you also have problem. You're just a fighter who you're a champion, but you're not better than anybody else. You gotta prove yourself to everybody else.
What you got going on next weekend? What's your thoughts on next weekend?
Dev, Regis.
Regis and
that's a hell of a fight. I think I've always liked Regis. Regis is a great, the way he came out and with Zepeda, that I was very blown away by his performance. Now, with Haney, the way he throws that jab, he's not willing to engage, and that's going to be a very, very tough night for Regis if he can't get in that pocket, if he can't get in there to throw his shots, because Haney's going to be walking, moving around him, lateral movement, the jabs, and the setup with the straight, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for him, especially he's a southpaw, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that straight and the jab, it's going to be really, really hard. Just like Lomachenko, Lomachenko was trying to get in there, and I don't think Regis is going to be as aggressive as Lomachenko is.
Devin is really good at controlling distance. He's amazing at controlling distance. I mean, that's one of the things that, even like when you think he's there, after you start an attack and you're trying to set up for a counter for Devin's jab, even his jab when you're coming in, he's not just planted there. He moves his feet back. He regains the distance control. And it seems like Regis is trying to make this an inside fight from the footage that I've seen. And so
he has to.
Yeah, but he's going to have to be able to break that distance.
Yeah.
Because Devin's really disciplined in keeping the distance.
What was it? It seemed like Lomachenko closed the distance. How did Lomachenko do it? Because I don't think
Loma did was he would slip in those shots, and he got in there by throwing shots at the same time. You know, he would get in there and then he would set up with lateral movements. I know that Regis can do that as well, but he's not known to do that. He's known to just kind of slip and get in there because, you know, the guy, like, I don't think he's fought somebody who fights like Devin Haney, who boxes and just steps out and he's not willing to engage. He's just willing to win the fight. You know, with everybody else, he's able to get in there because those guys were trying to hit him too, or trying to not score a point, but try to get him and hurt him. You know, and that made them susceptible to being countered or being able to get inside. Now with Haney stepping back and jabbing, stepping back and jabbing, it's going to be very difficult for him to get in there. It's not impossible, as we all know what Lomachenko did. He got in there, was able to hit him with shots. But I mean, one thing too, Regis do got power, you know, to time him well. Now, if he times him well, that's gonna, you know, especially the jab. Like the jab, the thing about it is, yes, he has a long range jab, but when you can slip through it and get in there with a straight right down the middle, like I usually do, it's easier to penetrate that barrier and be able to get in there with power. But that's something that they got to work into. You know, the thing is, it's so easy to see it on paper. It's so easy to see it on paper. It's so easy to see it on your mind. But to get in there and do it is another obstacle, another thing, you know, and that's something that he has to learn, and how to penetrate that barrier, how to get in there, and how to cut the ring at the same time.
Well, you have to get Devin to second guess. And Lomachenko was really good at that. He was using a lot of feints before he started to come in, right? So if Devin feels like you're going to come in, he's going to start to throw it, or even if it's just in his mind, should I throw it or not? That split second, you have to feint, then go. As soon as that half a breath is taken, because that's the moment where Devin hasn't fired it off yet. He hasn't moved off of his stance, but he's thinking of throwing it. That little, it's such a small adjustment, but I think feints from Regis will be something that he would have to bring out for this fight to get him to stop.
I have another theory too. When you look at Devin Haney in his couple fights, he tried to sit down on the punches. So I don't know if he tries to sit down for this punch or for this fight, but that's going to be very dangerous for him, knowing that Regis is going to get in there, and that's what Regis need, is for him to stop for a little bit, you know. But we did see him kind of sit down, except for with Lomachenko, you know, or sometimes he tried to do it. But if he does decide to kind of sit on it, it's you know, I mean, in a fight with the right shots and right timing, it can only take one shot.
Yeah, what's your take on Matias Subriel?
He is a heavy-handed fighter. You know, he is a heavy-handed fighter. You know, I don't know, he got bricks in his hands, man. You know, it doesn't look like it's strong, but when it hits, he drops bombs in them. You know, he doesn't wind up. You know, he's just one of those guys who has really heavy hands. You know, I think, you know, would be like a Triple G kind of guy. You know, it doesn't look strong, it doesn't look fast, but when it lands, it just takes away your energy and you just start to break down. That's the kind of fighter he is, you know, and he just willing to go in there. I mean, his last fight, You know, the guy was a very talented fighter, but he just started breaking them down. You know, and then that's the thing that this guy have is just he has his brick in his hand that just breaks you down.
Man, so you like the 140? What do you think is going to happen? What would you predict is going to happen in the 140 division if these guys fight? Like Tio, I'm not asking you to tell you who wins in particular people, but I I'm wondering about guys like Matias and fight somebody like Tio, right, like that, or Devin fighting Regis fighting Tio. Just it looks like that division's getting kind of thick. How you guys see the division playing out?
It's great. It's like back in the golden age, golden era of boxing. You know, with the four kings. You know, they you know it's like one of those things that you just got to be wondering about because they have different style, and they have different personality. But anything can happen in the fight. Is what I'm saying. You know, you got Matias that could probably break down Devin Haney because if it's not a type of fight that punches that can stop him, he might be able to just steamroll like a train, you know, if you're not able to stop him. But then you get guys like Teofimo who has power, could probably hit him and stop him off his track, or Regis, or you know, it could be a back and forth circle kind of thing like back in the days.
I love how none of you guys are saying that there's another 140 champion that no one's saying anything about.
I said earlier, Rolly gonna screw around and
I forgot that Rolly's in there. I'm like, he has a title.
I ain't forget Rolly. I told these people Rolly gonna screw around and knock somebody out getting cute.
Or he's just gonna wait for all of them to fight, and he's like, y'all forgot me. I'm in the wings.
How do you guys think that Gary Antoine Russell fits into the equation?
You know, he is a talented fighter. He is very skillful, you know, just like the whole family. They're very, very, very skillful. You know, it's just a matter of him being tested. That's just all there is to it. You know, he has all the skill to beat a lot of these guys. But it's a matter of his mind, his heart, and his capability of if when he gets in trouble, you know, what will he do? How will he react? And all of that stuff, and I think he just kind of needs to prove himself in that light. But do I think that he has the skills to beat a lot of these guys? 100%. I think he's very skillful. He got power too, but
yes, sir.
Can he go beyond what he expect to become in terms of being in the same level as these guys? I think that he has to kind of prove himself in that particular light so that he can be part of that group.
Thank you.
Well, Frequent Flyer says something. Great question, Blood. You got another one? Because I got about two more to run off.
No, man, I just wanted to. I think he's the other major, because like Ryan Garcia, he doesn't have a belt, but I think he's a major player. He's a young fighter and he's explosive. He comes from a fighting family. So I just wanted to ask them their opinion, and I agree with what Mr. Nonito Donaire, future Hall of Famer, may I say.
Let's throw in there, along that same vibe, let's throw in there Richardson Hitchens. Africa. Did you think about Africa? Because Africa's in there too, thinking he can do some stuff.
I mean, you know, when it comes down to a lot of things, is whatever's on TV for me and whatever that I see. You know, I'm not really too familiar with a lot of the guys coming up right now.
Well, let me skip because I know somebody you are very familiar with. Frequent Flyer, shout out to Frequent Flyer, said that Devin is going to knock out Jaron Ennis when he goes to 147.
Wait. Say that again.
I'm lying. I'm like,
wait, what? I'm like, whoa, come on, man. Knockout is a very big word for Devin. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, he is skillful, and I love the kid. I know him since he was 11 years old. You know, he's been around us since 11 years old, and I know him, and I gave him a lot of love and support. You know, him and his dad. But you know, he's not that type. He is not that type.
Hey, do you see? It's a serious question because he didn't say that. I was just playing. So, but I do want to ask you a question because Devin did say he was going to go up to 147. What do you think about the fight between Devin and Jaron Ennis?
I think that's a hell of a good fight. you know, but I don't think his range is gonna be good enough. I mean, Ennis is a tall dude. He's a big dude. He has long reach, you know, and your jab is not gonna do too well with him. I mean, you do any jab. If you have good jab, it's always gonna work. But the way he's fighting to keep it distance with these guys is that it ain't gonna work with somebody who's taller than him.
Like that answer. So anything else y'all want to talk about? Because I love it. I appreciate y'all jumped on. And I was just
Oh yeah, man. You know, I love it, man. You know, and great talking to you too,
yeah,
Martin. I mean, you know, it's been a while. I've
yes,
been just
sir.
kind of MIA.
Yeah, but last time I see, I'm about 50 pounds less of a man than I was last time I saw.
Oh man, you're looking good, brother. See,
Thanks, man. I appreciate
that's what life is about, man. You know, just taking care of your body, taking care of yourself, man.
Yeah,
You know,
man. That
and
was
of course
big,
you got
man.
Rach telling you that you eat a lot.
She said, "You eat too much." I was like, "Shit, problem solved."
There you go.
All right, y'all. Well, I'm gonna bounce out of here. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you, Nonito. Thank you, Blood.
Peace, man.
Yeah,
right.
thank you, Martin. Blood, appreciate you, bro.
All right,
And yeah,
man.
thank you.
Peace.
Peace,
Check y'all
peace.
out. All right, sirs. All right, check y'all out. We'll be back tomorrow. Sorry about getting you frequent flyer for that. Fanon, they ain't fighting. I might try to talk to Boots about it. My bro is tight with his brother. Frequent flyer, you know I was just messing with you, man. Hey, Heather, thank you. Yeah, oh man, I love talking. Oh yeah, thank you. But look, I got to get out of here. Much love to everybody in the chat, everybody in the super chat. Y'all have a wonderful day. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.